Ended the stream on my end, and I don't know how that happened. That was so weird.
You mean on YouTube?
Yeah, and
It
then when
kicked
I was
us
trying
off.
to pull up my comments, I wasn't seeing any comments.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're attached to me. That they take it down quick. Like
Well,
it's
that
still up.
hasn't happened yet, though. That's what I'm saying.
Oh well, good. Well, see, they're talking shit about you now because now it's your turn. See, it's a pattern.
No,
Now you'll
but
be
I'm
on
not
the.
even seeing your chat like I would when I'm normally up here on StreamYard.
That's because everybody in my chat's on Rumble, and Rumble doesn't come through StreamYard.
Oh, I thought you were streaming through YouTube.
I was streaming on both, and apparently YouTube just abruptly ended like they always do. So I'm still on the same stream with Rumble.
Oh, well, I just restreamed it through YouTube again.
It, it'll probably leave it up and or I guess you'll see if it's the music or if it's me because
Well, the music's not playing anymore, so. And
exactly.
it's not you.
Oh, you'll see. You think I took all my videos down on YouTube? I didn't do that. That's not me. I'm just not fighting it because I don't care because Rumble is better anyway and YouTube can eat it. But I'd be mad if like YouTube was my, you know.
I was wondering why I wasn't seeing anybody's comments.
Fucking dork.
Well, it's not my fault you're not as cool as Salty and know how to put the chat on screen.
Oh, fuck off. Listen, Salty's got fucking 2 screens, Mr. Fancy McFans Pants. I'm on my phone, so piss off. I can see the chat.
Yeah, blow me. I didn't even know that the YouTube stream ended, but now it's going again, so.
That was only like an hour ago.
I told you, I'm multitasking.
No. It's okay. Hey, girl, hey.
And there are those that don't feel quite comfortable going to Rumble yet that stay on YouTube. Come on, we gotta get back out here. They're gonna stay in here. Come on. Sorry. Because they can't come outside. Oh, I got a message. Hey, B. CB didn't abandon me.
Listen, Puff Muffin. My dad is so fucking institutionalized. This motherfucker still, after he's been out as long as he
Yep.
has to come walking through the fucking house. Chow time, chow time. Like, motherfucker, don't do that shit. It's fucking Thanksgiving. It's a little dysfunctional, but it works, I guess. Oh, it should be cracking me up. And my brothers, if they come filing down the line with their fucking headsets on, because that's all they do is fucking play Fortnite and don't ever go outside. They're so damn pale. And there they come, like fucking little fucking Fortnite zombies. Chow time, chow time. I'm like, I'm not doing it. Motherfucker, you can say, come eat like a normal person, or I refuse. I will sit here. Fucking say that shit to me. It's so normal though. I'm like, on Thanksgiving, come on, come on. Chow time. Even the dogs.
Even the dogs.
Oh, it's bad. Yeah, good times, good times.
So, so yay. Let's see here. I have 13 watching. I wonder how many of them are the lurkers. Hey, Kathy.
Yeah, there's also hold on, let me scroll up. 51 on Rumble. Puff Muffin, Star, Fast Eddie, Bess, Mirror.
So if I go mute all of a sudden, don't worry, guys. It's still streaming through Mighty Mouse, and she can see my chat too.
Ew.
We missed you too, Kathy.
Yeah, everyone's in chat. Misses you too. Mayor says I miss Cassie.
See, this way Kathy can chat too. Stay off my camera.
Oh, yeah. Put some Vicks Vapor Rub on him. That sounded terrible. Rub it on
Yeah,
put it
he
on the
was
bottom of his
wanting to
feet.
make noise because I wouldn't let him be seen on my camera.
Yeah, but that sounded like a wet cough. A wet cough.
Yeah, he also had just taken a bite of his cereal.
Well, Jesus, I hope he's not. What's he doing? Motorboating the milk?
Yeah, because I have a visual meeting that I'm in, so I'm sitting here talking with my mouth covered and whatnot.
You can't mute them.
Well, I'm not supposed to. I'm muted. I'm just
Oh,
trying to make it seem like I'm paying attention too.
oh, you were that kid in class. You bad. You're bad influence. You got me eating
Well,
with my
I'm
mouth
good.
open.
I'm good in sales, and I shouldn't even be in this training course, and I'm not in sales at work, so I'm a little miffed with my boss that she sent me here. And she did it because I'm one of the best sell people on our team. But if I jump off all of a sudden, it's because I have to be active in what I'm doing, and but my stream will still be going for those that are still watching Mighty Mouse. So don't worry for those that can't get on Rumble. Like, I don't know if Kathy figured out how to use chat yet or not.
I don't think everybody will get it. It's definitely different, but it's so much. It's worth it with how much more opportunities you have as far as literally being able to say what you want, and the aspect of you get like there's no God, I can't talk. There's no threshold for getting monetized. You don't have to have the 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 watch hours. Like you get monetized instantaneously, and it's more fair.
Yeah, but I don't really do it for any of that. I'm just doing it to help everybody that isn't able to connect in that way to still be able to be connected.
Yeah, but you just, I mean, it hasn't happened to you yet, but it will. Coming, just keep on pushing, keep on keeping on. It'll happen, but it just you get a step when you realize like how much of a okay, like if you don't, if it's somewhere you're not wanted, like why bother? I'm not gonna fight to be somewhere that censors me like a bunch of little pussies anyway. Like I just fuck YouTube. That's just where I'm at.
Oh,
But
I
I
can
don't mind that you
understand that,
stream it. It's
but
just I'm
there were
right.
those that for whatever reason or another have a hard time
And
that
I get
don't.
that. I get that.
Yeah, and I don't want to alienate them because they're just as much as part of this crew.
Right. Which is why I don't mind you still streaming it to yours. But if it was up to me, YouTube wouldn't be getting none of this. None of this. I'm gonna mute.
That, and I also know it irritates other people when they see that I'm going live with everyone.
Cause you're banned.
I'm not.
I know I'm being stupid like them. Ow! Oh God, I got a boob cramp. Oh my God, I'm pressing charges on you. I told you, Alice, if you did this shit again. Last time it was the rip. Oh. I'm not gonna be able to even call an ambulance. There's too much fucking debris in the road. Fuck my life.
Yeah, we should have. The only thing missing from the stream is Salty being here. That'll be the icing on the cake for my stream. But you can send some of that rain this way. If you blow real hard, it might make it here.
Oh fuck! I just pulled a muscle. I ain't blowing shit. I had to
We'll
mute
do the
because I'm
whole
over here.
butterfly effect. You blow real hard, I'll suck. There we go.
That's what she said. I gotta mute because I'm about to cuss because this shit hurts. Oh fuck my life. Oh shit, that's not muted. Hold
You know the butterfly effect. When the butterfly flaps its wings, it causes a hurricane. Is it the hot, muggy rain or the cold?
on. It's fucking muggy rain. It's fucking Florida with the fucking muggy rain. It's only muggy rain. No, I didn't delete it. I got what's it called? Shadow banned. Don't ask me why. Ask YouTube because they're bitches. That's why. Because the same content is up on Alice's channel, but it gets taken down on mine for community guidelines because they're a bunch of pussies. But what do I know? So Rumble's where it's at.
Well, they
Alice is
still
still
have.
got.
I still have mine, but they don't show them on my when you go to the live section.
What do you mean? So they're gone then, right?
Some of them, not all of them.
So if you check your email, you'll have a corresponding email with all of them, and it'll tell you what community guideline you broke.
Well, most of them are for music.
Yeah, but they don't block them. That's different copyright. That just if you ever get monetized, you have to pay rights to them, to the people, the owner of the music. If you get
And I think
monetized,
some of them is because you copyrighted the stream.
well, no, the ones that are taken down is because of community guidelines. Because I get the same ones, but I guess it just takes longer before it catches up to yours. But it's because of it's being mass reported for harassment and cyberbullying. Because we're the bullies. But it doesn't count as a strike. You can either contest it and it'll be a strike, or let them rob you and steal your footage, and then take it, with a just take a good scolding, and then it's a warning and you don't get the strike. I just said fuck that. I'm on Rumble anyway, so I don't know. I didn't even answer the email because thug life. Fuck you too. Yeah, that happens. I don't know why. Because YouTube is mean. They're picking on me. They're being mean. You should tell somebody about it. I have emotional damages. Shit, I forgot to mute. What happened with what the other day? What is that, LC? What does that mean? Fucking shit, Alice. Here she's gonna come back saying I pushed her off and then when I did it. Oh no, she might be like doing that adulting thing, working or whatever. Ugh, what a show off. Cat K, you're already cooking? Girl, I'm about to come to your house. It's only 2 o'clock. What you mean? My husband can replace me real quick. I'll vote in too. Like, you're already cooking? You're in the same time zone as me? I mean, if you're not, that would mean it would be earlier. Let me find out. Yeah. I'm not going to be doing no cooking because I'm on strike because I have to throw everything in my refrigerator and freezer away, and I'm not very happy about it because the trash just ran yesterday. So now it's like, oh yeah, all this rotten shit, and I'm gonna have to like smell it for a week. So yeah, there's a couple people I could write some letters and cuss out, but I haven't decided yet. But pretty perturbed. But you know what? It's not their fault. But still, I like to bitch in unnecessary times when matters could be worse. I'm just kidding. I don't write letters. I wouldn't even know how. Oh, you can keep on knocking, but you can't come in. I'm just kidding.
Push. Are you having technical issues or am I?
I think I did it.
You were talking with your mute on, huh?
No, I was fucking with you, and I was like, "You can keep on knocking, but you can't come in." And then you came in right when I pushed it, and it kicked you back out. Oh shit! I didn't know something happened with Lincoln Kane. What happened? You'd have to. I haven't been cruising the YouTube streets because I've been rowing a boat up my swamp back here, so I'm a little out of touch. You'd have to ask Alice. Are you? Oh, maybe because Al. Maybe she's asking you because you didn't you go on his panel the other day. Maybe that's what they're talking about. Or she's
I
talking
don't
about.
know. I can't see their chat.
It's your chat, you dick with ears. It's Nicole G.
Oh, I gotta pull it up.
She's.
I see it now.
Well, thanks, fuck.
Yeah, I did go on LC's the other night, but it was just to get a feel for things and to find out what was up because he was bashing Salty, I had heard. And of course, Jim twisted it around to make it seem like that I was being put in my place. He's such an idiot. He can't even listen to the whole content.
All right, all these women in my chat are just really showing how freaking bad of a damn wife I am. Listen, I got an excuse though, because literally, like, I had to throw everything away because I don't know if y'all know, but in Florida, it'd be hot. Like, it'd be hot at night. So it was like The first 4 hours we were without power, when my son was like, what, why is there no light on in here? Why is there no light on in here? Yeah, the refrigerator was like completely defrosted. So I was hoping to save the stuff from the freaking freezer because um we open it less, but it all had to go too because I'm not with the whole, oh, it was half defrosted and it's all right, it's gonna fall back out, like, nope. So yeah, I'll have to replace all of that, which it's just annoying. So I'm eating takeout until further notice. I'm on strike. I don't know with who, but just telling you.
Takeout's good.
Yeah, bad for you and it's expensive, but I have to clean out the refrigerator because it's just, you can just, it's gross. You can smell when it's all like been melty and stuff, and it's just, I gotta bleach it, and I don't feel like it. I'm on strike. Gosh darn it.
Hey, Steve.
What up, Steve? The party's on Rumble, but I get it. Support Alice too. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Did you just call me Day Day?
No, Smokey. I said that to somebody the other day. I was like, no, you're doing it wrong. Like, you're not supposed to smoke weed and be like fucking Smokey and the chicken coop. That's not normal. You got somebody done waste your shit. And where's Eddie? If Eddie's here, like, is your life forever changed? Because the fact they live in odd West Virginia just makes it that much better.
Well, I did get a better idea why I guess Phil is actually openly admitting into being at war with Salty now.
What do you
Because
mean?
he doxed him and his family on Facebook.
Salty did?
That's what he was saying. I caught the replay, so I don't know. I wasn't able to ask questions.
I'm saying, but did you look on Facebook? Is it true? Like,
And he said he took it down after he reported it 3 times. I never saw it.
well, if he ain't got screenshots, then Phil should know better than anybody. It didn't fucking happen.
But he was in Bell's chat crying about it.
Oh, fucking A, Phil, get some balls. Because listen, Boo Boo, you're probably the only one that hasn't been doxxed yet. Like, what makes you special? Like, why are we supposed to feel sorry for you? When?
But check this out. Yet he says that Salty doesn't even know his name. So how do you get doxxed if you don't know his name? Even Jim pointed that out to him.
Listen, do you want me to solve the mystery, or just let their minds wander?
Because he said that he showed pictures of his kids and said where they were going to school, and I just don't. I never saw that post. And they're going shame on Salty for going after Joy. My God.
Do you mean the one that shit herself?
Huh?
The one that shit herself on Jim's show? That Joy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just wondering. Everybody, stop talking about Salty. He's in chat.
Uh-oh. Hey, Salty. Hey, Jim. Hey, 406 Jewel. But yeah, I found that funny that he was trying to go there with that. Well, Jewel, we're glad you're able to join us.
I gave you the link, Salty. I'm about to spill the beans, though.
But yeah, from what I caught, he had asked Bell for a platform to uh, confront Salty, and it's like, well, why didn't you just go up on
Why
panel?
would you
You
go up
know
on
where
his
we're
panel
at.
if you really want to confront him, you big old bitch?
Hey, Justice for Harmony.
I'm gonna go to the channel that doesn't allow you to come up and duel. You fucking pussy.
Oh no, she said she'd let him come up for that.
Oh, well, yeah, because listen, if Mike goes up there, he's gonna fist fight me. I be god darn, because oh my god, they better be worried about ban evading them fucking bitches.
Exactly.
Phil,
I
just bring
never
your ass
seen
over here and put your
what she
boxing
was
gloves on
talking
and let's
about.
get ready to rumble, you little bitch. I know what you look like. Quit talking tough, you son of a bitch. Oh shit, what am I talking about? I don't know nothing. I'll just say this. I don't know where the fuck that avatar came from.
Yeah, I couldn't believe him because I never seen any kind of doxing that he'd done on Phil. And then he had the nerve to sit there and say, well, he didn't even know my name. And that's when I was actually surprised Jim bust out saying, well, you know what? How can he dox you then?
First of all, Jim doesn't know what the fuck anybody knows. Jim doesn't even know what the fuck he knows. So let's
Well,
check that
I'm
off.
just saying that was
Second of
probably
all,
the most intelligent thing he's ever said.
Mr. Listen, I could be petty right now because I'm on Rumble, but I'm not going to do that to Alice because she's on YouTube. But listen, let me just stop the giggling and all the mysteriousness. It was me, motherfucker, and it wasn't even a challenge. Triangulation engaged. Boom, boom, boom. Shots fired. Bang, bang. Have some of that. And it's all fucking public record. So really do better and maybe put your fucking profile on private, you ignorant scroungy fuck. Now cry about that, you little bitch.
And Salty doesn't go after kids.
Salty didn't do shit. Salty didn't do nothing but post something that was given to him by me. There you go. You want to know? It was me, motherfucker, me. You coming for me? You want to duel with me? Oh, well, come on, tough guy. I know what you look like. You better quit that shit. And there was no kids involved. So I don't know. I don't know why you're trying to take something to something it's not. But just a recommendation, Mister. Now all of a sudden you're worried about your kids because you haven't gave a fuck about Jim attacking other people's for 9 months. Let me give you a suggestion. Make your Facebook fucking private because I've seen your kids, and that means the rest of the world can too. You stupid scroungy crybaby fuck. You want to talk about protection? Why don't you do your due diligence and protect your fucking self? I don't have you as a fucking friend, so that means the whole world can see it that easy, you dumb fuck. Your VPN didn't do shit. Have a nice day.
Like I said, I caught it on replay, but or else I would have made sure I jumped in on that one because I was like, I didn't see what the hell post he was talking about. I
I'm
mean,
very
first it
disappointed
shocked me
that
when
my
I seen
internet
that
was
he was
out
a
and that
member for with
I didn't
Jim
get to
for the
hear that
past
live
6
because
months.
I would have took that challenge and I would have came up into his duel because Salty didn't do it. Salty didn't do anything but post what he was given by me. So how do you feel about that, Phil? How do you want to play? How do you want to cash that check, homeboy?
There's Salty.
Why do you get to hide in the shadows while going and playing the fence and going and supporting people that have been attacking our kids and then think that all of a sudden because you say your kids were attacked? No, 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 no. You have your kids posted public. I didn't say anything about your kids. However, I do know what you look like because of your picture with your kids as on your public profile. The only thing that Salty posted was a post that he shared about how much of a change in his child behavior has had since he changed them daycares and shouting out the daycare. That's a public fucking post.
That was a
I don't
public
have him as a
post,
friend.
and it wasn't attached to any kind of kids'
No,
pictures.
it didn't have nothing. It just said that he was talking about the education received by the daycare. The whole point was saying that everybody knows where you live because you have it public, you stupid fuck. Didn't have nothing to do with kids.
Don't
But
you have?
thanks.
Don't
Good
you
to
have
know
the?
that's where you're going to try to take it because where were you whenever
Oh,
it was
that's right.
about kids?
I think I sent it to you.
I seen the shit when you posted. I hearted it.
No, the picture where the screenshot where he doxed himself
In the
months
chat,
ago.
yes.
Months ago in chat said his real
Yes.
name.
How the fuck do you think I found him? All I did was type that into the Google search bar. Hello, you fucking geniuses.
I just got off the phone with the sheriff's office in Elko.
Oh yeah, because apparently Phil called the FBI on you.
Good luck, Phil. You fucking crybaby. Do you call the FBI on Jim when he's threatening people and calling their work? Do you call
And
the
threatening
FBI
their
there?
kids. Oh, because nobody
call the
threatened
FBI
you.
then? You fucking whack job filth.
You know what he looks like when you say that out loud? How do you say that without laughing?
Because have you seen filth? What he looks like? Dude looks like a fucking serial killer.
No, he looks like he wears his fucking pants up to his damn nipples.
It looks like he fucking wears the thong too.
He's not the avatar. I don't know how that must have been like randomly generated.
He's lucky we don't talk about Ashley and the way she looks like she likes to eat kids.
Yeah, I don't know if that's his sister or what, but that's a whole weird thing. Yeah.
Fucking Barry. Albert.
Stop it! Fucking Barry.
Fucking Barry. He used to write me long text messages. I'll share them. Matter of fact, I'll share them. I'll show you. And then I'll show you.
Did you hear he challenged you to a duel on Bellevue's panel?
Why can't he just come to our panel?
You know, funny. He challenges you to a panel that they won't let you up on. Isn't it funny?
These guys, they want me on their panel so they can control it. But I'm not down for that. You got to come over here where we're not going to control nothing. We'll just give you your ample opportunity to say what you got to say. No, filth ain't saying nothing. None of them. That's why they've tried so hard to look for anything and everything. It's been almost 11 months now. What have they found? Nothing. Kept telling you there's nothing you can do. Nothing that you can try to do to try to hurt me. When we talk to your son, ooh. I told Jim, you guys know I called Jim the other day. I called Jimmy on the phone. Started talking about like this phone call with my son. I doubt that ever happened. I think they've dissected and picked through my Facebook and shit that's been years ago. You know, just try to find anything. And they kind of like piece and glued together little pieces and puzzles.
Yeah, hoping that just the thought of it, the threat of it, would get a reaction out of you. Like the same shit with your baby mama. That was not her.
Oh, fuck, didn't get no kind of reaction. Don't even give a fuck. This guy's so petty on such a lower level that it's funny. You know, you got a guy out there who's really committing a con and a fraud by being a fake PI and doing what he's doing. Oh, fuck, I got side distracted because I was going through all this shit that I found that I want to share.
Well, listen, whenever I get notifications or screenshots saying that, thank you, Phil, he's been a member for 6 months and he's dropping $20, $40 super chats. I don't think he was ever part of the Salty crew. So you make that make sense. I don't know. Just asking for a friend, Bo.
No, absolutely not. He was a distractor. He was the one creating distractions. He was the filth in the fill. Filth.
It's one thing to go over there and watch, but if you're giving him money like that, like you ain't a part of this crew, because there's different breeds of people, and nobody from this crew is giving that scroungy fuck money and feeling good about it. I don't care.
Oh, I'll even show you the picture that I posted. Oh, you already fucking know. And it's not like you can scroll in on his kids either.
No, it was a review on the daycare itself. It's on a public page. I've seen it because it's on his page, which is public.
Right. That's right. And you're allowed to share that.
It's all public domain. Isn't that what Jim Terry loves?
That's what they love to do. Yeah. Is Phil fucking crying to the FBI about the website?
No, of course not.
Fuck no,
he's not
Filth
on
ain't. All he's over there is he's filth sucking off fucking his little master, Jimmy.
because it doesn't apply to him. So it, now all of a sudden he wants to cry. It's a crime across state lines when it's when it
shut
happens
up,
to him.
filth, you fucking crybaby.
Funny
So
how
give
your
it a more
table,
positive note.
Get over your
How was it when you met Candy Wrapper?
get over your thong wearing fucking pantyhose loving Jim sucking ball nuts, fake phony filth.
Yeah, and let's talk about the fact that you have a child that young and you can somehow tolerate the shit that Jim Terry does and stomach it. Make that make sense, because I'm borderline like questioning your mental cognitive abilities, because
So
what the
that's what
fuck's the
me
matter
too.
with you?
That's what
Well,
I'm
according to
questioning
all them,
too.
we've been lost our mind and credibility.
He's he runs, he lives this lifestyle with this all pretend, it's like a pretend illusion. And he's got this alter ego inside of him when he goes to gyms. Unless they're all part of the same trafficking ring. Fuck, I don't know. Same LARP ring. Whatever these fucking guys do. Strange
I know
to
for
me.
somebody to be so smart, that was a dumbass move to go talk shit, knowing good and damn well that I could have. The only reason why you have any animosity is because I haven't cared enough about who you are. Don't fucking think for a second it's even a challenge to find out who any of you are. But no, I do. I don't just. I'm not Jim. Just I'm gonna bully you. Don't go fucking with somebody that might just fuck back. And that's all I'm saying. And I'm saying this one more time because of it being children involved. Inky, you got one more time. All fucking bets off the table. I will put all of the information I have on you out there, and I'm not blacking shit out. One more fucking time. Game, set, match, bitch.
Same with Marzi
Checkmate.
Girl. Okay, Marzi Girl,
Fuck
you
that
keep this
bitch
shit up,
too.
you're gonna get. Hey, listen, Marzi Girl.
Listen, unless
You
you
better
want
be
the
careful.
whole YouTube to see them titties, you better shut your mouth.
You better
listen,
be careful.
I can butter Steve up to be mean.
It's gonna be interesting if Jim ever fucking calls in on you, Marzi Girl, and finds out you fucking lied about everything that you've done and you're knitting up there a sweater and shit. He is going
And
to
it'll only be a
fucking
matter of
roast you.
time. Yeah.
Roast you. We already found out.
And
We
he
know the
should.
truth.
He should, because you're a fake ass crybaby bitch. You're the worst kind. You're the
You
kind
know-
that send men to prison because they didn't want to give you any more attention, and that's a fucking snake.
You should listen. Let me tell you about this conversation that I had with Jimmy. He said that he asked me, he goes, "So what's this deal between you and Marzi Girl?" It's like he's fucking unaware of everything that's going on. It's like, what do you mean?
Because he's playing stupid. He knows.
You playing stupid?
Absolutely.
You fucking know what's going on. She made up all kinds of shit, being a pretend victim, fucking fabricating court document and saying
Trust
she
me,
went to
they
trial
know.
and there was a prison conviction all in the same month. We called the courts the day that she said she went to trial. They didn't have no trial dates with her name or
Not to
any
mention
kind
that's
of
impossible.
nothing.
It takes fucking 6 months before you even drag it out. Even with a public defender, there's no way you're getting a speedy trial and going and having a settled case in less than fucking 8 months, much less than 30 days. It's not possible.
You bet your fucking ass we're not going to sit here and throw this shade on Marzi Girl if it's not true. That'd be fucking some fucked up shit. The problem is Marzi Girl to this day has never brought any kind of proof out to show anything.
Oh, the shit that she did is doctored. I can debunk it in fucking 10 errors in the first 5 minutes.
That's how pathetic that fucking lady is, man. She went as
she
far as
has
fucking
no
fabricating a
experience
fake
with the
report.
law. That's why she doesn't know how to make a fake police report. She's never filed one or had one filed.
But she won't give you the
do it
case
on
number.
Her computer.
She won't even give her fucking best friend when her best friend asked her for the case number. Nope.
She tried to type it up on a computer, and any idiot knows that anything done a police report wise is the police report is done in pen on scene. You write it in pen, the officer signs it in pen, and then you'll get an affidavit way later on.
Or sometimes they'll type it up on their computer.
Yeah, but that's way afterwards. The one you're getting on scene is fucking in pen, and everybody knows it.
But that report that was not. The reports from that county, that's not how they do it. She didn't even have, it doesn't even line up the format. She literally tried to put it on like a Word document, Googled a fucking blank police report, and didn't even put any effort into researching how they're actually filled out. And we shut our mouth. We kept our mouth quiet about that shit. We didn't even
No,
go
because
hard on
I
her.
was in the background doing a FOIA request because we wanted to make sure before we said anything that we couldn't come back from, that we knew unequivocally without a shadow of a doubt that she was lying. And we did. We checked all those boxes and checked every way possible, all the way down to a FOIA request on her address for the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of the weekend of that at
Nothing
that time.
came up.
There was no 911 calls from her apartment complex, not just hers, the entire complex.
We even gave her the opportunity to save face and bow out without the embarrassment.
I would have paid $7 if I would have known she was going to push it this far, because they offered to send me a paper that said blank page, there's nothing here. But I didn't feel I wasn't going to pay $7 for that.
We held one live stream about it. We exposed what happened. We told you what happened, and we left it alone. We left her alone. We didn't even do nothing. We haven't talked about it. We haven't
because
fucking
listen,
harassed
she's
her.
got way more problems than
Yes.
she's got problems that we can't that we don't have the skills or the time or patience to deal with. And I'm not gonna make it worse and something bad happen and then that be on my conscience, because she's got problems. Her attaching to Steve the way she did, and then now just acting like nothing happened. Now all of a sudden she's got fucking cancer or a heart attack. Come on.
And then she's going up on James and running her fucking mouth,
looking like a fucking beached whale. Might I add?
Left her alone.
Yes. Talking about we victimized her about her daughter. Anytime she's ever fucking brought up her daughter has been just that. She brought it up. Everybody gets uncomfortable, awkward, and she's a fucking panel killer. So let's talk about us pressuring you, talking about your daughter as you're on Jim's show, steadily bringing it up. What are you trying to do? Get super chats for sympathy? You fucking creep. And I'm not even trying to say that it didn't happen. I'm just saying the way that you're going about getting attention, you don't have to fucking do that. Oh, I don't smoke, I don't drink. Bitch, I got a clip of you literally less than fucking 90 days ago, drunk off your fucking ass with Kai and Anna on panel, not Kai and Anna drinking, but having to tell you need to mute. Yeah, you're too drunk. What the yeah, that was alcohol. What the fuck, you lying bitch? Oh, you don't drink today because you're out of liquor? Bitch missed me with that shit. You think just because Salty lost the channel that all that footage is gone? Bitch, we still have it. And everybody's seen it live. Who are you fooling? Yourself? Because you better drink a couple more if you're going to do that, because you're not even convincing your fucking self at this point. I see it in your fucking face.
Yep.
Hanging out with Belle V? Are you fucking kidding me? Y'all were mortal goddamn enemies. It's really making me question.
Don't you find this?
Were y'all really just faking it the whole time?
The whole time. Absolutely.
That's the only thing that makes sense, that all you fucking bitches ended up in the same place.
I told you guys in the very beginning.
Because y'all created so much unnecessary drama because we didn't pick a side. And then for y'all to just make up.
10 months they did.
Are you fucking kidding me?
For 10 fucking months. And then they all congregate back together.
That's not a coincidence. I don't give a fuck. Call me a conspiracy theorist. That is
I don't believe in coincidences. That's the truth.
Prove it. Prove it. That's where I'm at, because okay, stranger things have happened. I'm not buying shit. There ain't no coincidences on YouTube, not with them scroungy fucks.
No. And then they all listen, and they all congregate together, which is weird. You know, we got victim players, you got fucking Margie, you got Tainted Ink, you got Bella V. It's like a fucking channel full of nutcases.
No, like it's a fucking hub of they all play one role. I mean, listen, I can get deep into it and break it down for you, because think about the certain things
or
that
their
they
role
do
players.
And the certain things that they target. It's almost
role
like
players. That's
yes,
why
and I think it's a fucking trafficking hub.
I think so too. I think it's something, and I have some proof on it.
Because they try to get close to battered women and kids.
Y'all know Tim Ballard
the most
from
vulnerable
Operation.
People and the easily most taken advantage of are people that are battered and kids. I mean, just textbook, Google it.
Y'all know Tim Ballard from Operation Underground Railroad.
If you don't, you're missing out. Go.
They did
subscribe.
the biggest child trafficking bust in the country was in Ukraine.
Here, on our soil. Yep.
Ukraine and our soil. Think about that.
Yeah, but they're coming from here.
Think about that. Who Biden is best friends with and sending fucking millions of dollars.
Yeah, we're sending millions of dollars, probably millions of dollars worth of kids.
Guess who Biden's being investigated by now for a whistleblower that just came out yesterday on child trafficking.
Yeah. Listen.
Jerry Springer just died. How sad is that?
Did he?
Yeah, died at age almost 80.
Oh my God, don't do that. I love Jerry. That was my childhood. Are you kidding me? That's my uncle.
Jerry Springer has passed away.
Listen, I'm one of Jerry's kids. Y'all didn't know?
How sad.
Fuck. Don't play with me, man. Is this a joke?
No, it's real.
Oh my God, I gotta go binge watch Jerry Springer.
Yep. Passed away with from
another
cancer.
Legend.
Unfortunately.
Damn.
Someone told me if this place wants to kill you, they give you cancer, which is weird.
It's funny. Listen, that podcast that he did yesterday, I was not expecting it to be as like raw as it was and like just straight to the point. it put a lot of shit into perspective. It made me realize it made me scared of a lot more things that I was not aware of that I needed to watch out for. Very educational, very eye-opening, but very, very raw. I will say that. So I would not recommend watching it with a little one because he goes into like pretty, just kind of telling stories about his first.
What are you talking about?
Tim, that Tim guy, Tim, whatever Ballard. He just started a podcast. The first episode was yesterday.
Tim Ballard.
Yeah,
Yes.
on
Operation Underground Railroad.
Yeah, the podcast is called Destination or Railroad or something. It's
They,
like insider story so that people can connect with it, and it's more like, you get to know what happens on the inside. And people telling stories about like when they were rescued, and some of them are like the employees saying, how they got it brought into it, and how they felt the first kid they rescued and shit like that, so that people can see how fulfilling it is, doing stuff, even if it's one kid, it's worth it because that you've literally changed the course of someone's life. I think he adopted 2 of them from Haiti, Tim, which is like, that's just.
It's one of the most legit organizations out there that are honestly trying to make a difference in anti-trafficking
and
missions.
Listen, and they catch so much backlash, just like we were.
Because did you not remember? I played the video to Tim Ballard said, we are at war with a group
against
that
our
he's
children.
never even
would
think about being this big. And it blew his mind how big of an operation this is, and how big these people are, and how they will go to any end to protect them. Now, I have proof. We have proof. Thank God for Michelle. Where is she at? Justice for Harmony has done some big time homework. Matter of fact, I don't want to show them yet, Mighty Mouse, until tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if I can't screen share or whatever, and it's 30 minutes, so I tried to upload it. But that most recent one of Tim Ballard, I wouldn't mind like playing it so that they can see it, because all the way down to the build up for the show tonight. Pay attention to little keywords like harvest.
I can do that. I can show the live stream that came out yesterday.
Yeah, it's about 30 minutes, I think. But he talks about the harvest and the right time of year. Listen, I think it would be an awesome build-up for tonight's show, because I've been doing some research too, and I've been kind of holding it in and trying to talk about these dumbasses on YouTube because I would save it for the show. But I've been deep diving in and out of internet, and I think we're onto something, and I think it's bigger than we all could have ever anticipated, and it's sick.
It is way bigger. I've seen some stuff with I didn't meet Tim, but he came up into the office. So I used to work for a company back last year, right after I left Dylan. And the owner of that company, all these guys are multimillionaires. And he's one of the head honchos with Operation Underground Railroad. Everything about our atmosphere and work was Operation Underground Railroad. And I was invited to the house one day, and I seen operations. I seen the stuff that they were doing. Blew my mind. It blew my mind to watch them interact and talk with live at this moment. Adults wanting to have sex with 7, 8-year-olds, 13-year-olds, 12-year-olds, people who they think they're playing video games with online, and sending pictures that would just make you sick. There's a world out there that you don't even understand.
And it's not a world where they drive the big ass creepy pedo van and they look creepy.
Absolutely not. It's your fucking
neighbors. They are your school's fucking PE coaches.
Yes.
They're the freaking football coaches, and they blend in. That's what's scary.
It is. In my experience in this, I'll tell you the truth. It is the people you least suspect.
Absolutely.
It's not your fucking felon across the street who's fucking smoking weed. It's your goddamn bishop that lives next door that prays with you.
Absolutely. The more powerful they are in position, the more likely they are to be on some pedo shit.
To get away. Yep. And they're the quickest to also point fingers and be like, no,
absolutely, because they can have enough money that's all that matters.
Seen some shit, you guys. I've been advertising Operation Underground Railroad since I very first came onto YouTube. Every video that I've played had Operation Underground Railroad. I am all about saving the kids.
I think the reason why they're so successful. I know I've seen 1,000,001 organizations about child trafficking, and none of them I've ever I can't even make it through a full video, and it's just I can't watch it. I think the way that they do it, like video wise, and the way that they go about it, it grabs you. There's no way you can't feel enraged, and it pulls on all the heartstrings just enough to where it makes you want to get up and make a difference. So I mean, I kudos to that whole team to make that work, because listen, it's had me so damn mad that I'm just babbling like an idiot, like, oh my, because it's real, it's raw, but it's in a way that's like, it tells you how you can make a difference, not just gives you a bunch of shit that you can't control and be mad about it and then move on. It gives you ways that you can make a difference, and it's not, anything is a difference in that situation. There's no act too small.
Let's go to the show.
Take all of us standing up before anything changes.
We can go to the show banger.
Yeah, it's so deep.
I got it ready for you.
It needs to be a call to action, big time, nationwide, worldwide.
It is a 3 minute. I know they went over the 7 seconds, but they did code that shit 30 minutes and 3.
Trigger warning and all that stuff, because he doesn't sugarcoat anything.
Now, before I play it, I want to let you know tonight's show at 5. I don't know why I had a schedule at 5, which would be 7, 8 your guys' time.
I'm going to dive Aiden, right? And get more.
Yes, it's going to be at Aiden Clune, and I think that we're on to something. I got to share it with Mighty Mouse, but I think that we're on to something totally fucking different. We're almost political. The mother, everybody's involved, and I think I have the proof. In order to understand this proof, you would have to understand Operation Underground Railroad. You would understand your crane and everything of that, what's going on. If you don't,
pay attention to the harvest and think about this, and the fact that how many of these places that they've busted, there's 100 of them that they don't know about yet. That's what's fucking scary.
The harvest is the key word, and we've said that before.
And oh my God, it'll make your hair stand up.
And they say, okay, go in and buy a kid. And there's this amazing footage of this, right? Where we walk in, and I don't think it matters. I'm just going to buy any kid. And I walk in, and right as I'm looking for a kid to buy, this little boy just turns around. Like, it's like an angel whispered, turn around. That's what it looks like. He just goes about face and then walks up to me and puts his arms up.
Yeah, that was Cole, right?
Yeah, and that's Cole, my son. So I pick him up, and I'm like, well, I guess God's telling me this is the kid we're going to use in the sting operation.
He adopted the kid that they tried to sell to him. Fucking amazing.
Hey guys, Tim Ballard here. This is In the Trenches. These are the stories of Operation Underground Railroad, our successes, our challenges, our operations. And if you want to donate to make sure that we can continue to make these stories by doing real rescue operations, please go to ourrescue.org and help us out. Thanks so much. Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of In the Trenches. We want to bring you into our operations, into the narrative that is the story of OUR, how we were built, what we do, how we have grown, how we approach the problem of modern day slavery and child slavery and human trafficking. And we're just really excited to kick it off. And the very first episode, I brought this guy. His name is Matt Cooper. Matt Cooper is employee number 1, first guy that we hired. I'm going to let Matt Cooper just tell you what his impressions are. We're coming at 10 years. Can you believe that? One day you get a phone call from me, a crazy phone call, just kind of out of the blue, right? We met because I was your professor.
All right.
Crazy. Tell me about that, how we met and how you ended up being the first employee. And when you got that crazy phone call like, hey, you want to quit everything and start something with me?
Oh, what was that? Maybe 2011 or 12. We were down in the Imperial Valley, kind of the southeast corner of California, sort of the armpit of California. Tim was an agent down there on the border. That's where I grew up, actually. So at night, he was a professor at Imperial Valley College. I took a course from him. I just got married and took a course in It was international relationships.
That's right.
Yeah. So international politics, and at the same time, you were working on some books, and I think we connected over that. And I was already looking at, because I had some things that kept me out of the military, some medical history. I was looking at law enforcement career, so I was really curious to learn about everything you were doing. You're like, yeah, man, it's a really cool job. I kick in doors and carry guns, and I was like, no. I mean, look at my shirt. I'm like, yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. That's what I want to do. I became interested in that. And yeah, our friendship you just kind of kept giving me things to do. And then maybe like 2 years later, I get a call and you say, I think I can hire you for a year. And I said,
well, at least a year.
Yeah, like at least a year. I was like, oh, all right, moving to Utah. So just packed up a trailer, dropped out of school, and moved to Utah. And then now it's been 10 years. So we keep renewing every year.
Crazy? I go back to that, and like I honestly often think, what was I thinking? Like there was no model. There was no manual. Like, how do you really privatize like the rescue operation? That the way I see it, the way I knew it would work, based on my over 10 years working these kind of cases, and just being stopped and blocked so often because of bureaucracy or jurisdictional limitations, and just watching kids fall through the cracks because of just the nature of how governments operate. This, human trafficking is so transnational. Mm-hmm. But it knows no borders and boundaries. But unfortunately, politics and bureaucracy, those things do know borders and boundaries, right? And they stop you. And so, but it was crazy because it was like, how do I do this? How do I run a business? How do I bring in money to do this thing? I pitched the idea to Glenn Beck. We raised like $500,000 or something. And then it was like, oh my gosh, I have to quit now. And that's not very much money. Right. And I was like, who do I have to have somebody. Like, I can't just do everything alone. I need someone to collect the receipts and keep them in a trash bag.
So that's a great point, what he's trying to bring up. That if you're going to go try to fight a war to save the kids, who's going to finance that? The church is not, the state's not. Who finances saving the kids?
Especially when they're fighting you.
That's what he's about to explain.
Most people don't even want to stand up to that kind of power, much less financially. That's a whole nother battle in itself. So
you're absolutely right. And the people who do finance and help support the cause end up getting bullied and harassed.
Absolutely. Because if they're on that list of donors and they didn't remain anonymous, they get attacked.
Like you guys.
Yep.
I shared it again.
Bag, which is what you did. And you're like, yeah, I'll come up. No, you just like roll in with your family. Yeah. And like, we had a little barn our neighbor let us use. And we're just like, okay, now what? Like, I don't know. Well, keep all the receipts. I'm sure we're probably going to need them. And do you remember what the first thing obviously all we know is we got to go rescue. So what do you remember? Like, what was the first move we made? What was the first flight we got on, and what did we do? Like, how did we start?
Yeah, I think I remember the first tickets that I booked for a team. And at the time I was helping mostly logistically. We kind of did like a 3-country. I think you went down to like El Salvador. You went to visit Batman. And then I think you jumped over to Colombia. I think you said hi to them. And then you went over to Haiti. And started getting things going on you were like getting cases going in those 3 countries.
And yeah, Tim is a Mormon. And they're from Provo, just 5 minutes up street from me. And all this founded, I think, here in Utah. But he leads by example.
Countries. Like, hey, Batman. Hey, Cartagena. That's where Triple Take ultimately happened. And then you went over to Haiti. And remember you called me because there were some hiccups logistically and chewed me out or whatever. I don't know. It's PTSD from those days. I've forgotten about it. But
I don't know what you're talking about. I would never have done that. It was stressful.
Yeah, it was stressful.
Because like what, but we had specific leads that were carryovers from my cases in the government in both Haiti and in Colombia, right? And it was like, let's pick up where we left off, but will they still let us in? I don't have a badge anymore. Will they still allow us to do this? And we had enough money to do 2 operations probably, and then it was over. That's what was so scary. Because if we weren't successful on those ops, it's done. Who's going to keep giving us money? Like, that was crazy risky. But we knew it was the right thing to do. Both those operations, let's get into those in a second, but I want to fast forward because once those were crazy successful. The Haiti operation on February 19th, that was our first rescue. We launched off at early December 2013. By February 19th, we had our first rescue of 26 kids. And then 2 of those kids, I ended up adopting, right?
Right.
And then the next operation from there, we went.
Do you guys know anything about Tim Ballard? He went to Brigham Young University, BYU, here in Provo. You know, he is a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And he did go on a mission to Chile. I also I can't remember if he was part of the CIA or some kind of government agency. I'm trying to look it up. I know he's met with Donald Trump and a couple other presidents.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, he talks about it.
Was it CIA?
Yeah, I think he talks about it when he goes into it, because he talks about his first mission, his first rescue or whatever, and how it went from something that he did. He talks about how he could do more as a volunteer with this organization than he could with the high security clearance. He had more, stop signs with government clearance than he does as a citizen on the street.
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. So
that's
what I'm
crazy to me.
I'm trying to tell you this is a guy who, went to Brigham Young University. This is strict Mormon, very strict.
Yeah, and then went straight from church to pretty much
mission.
Enlisted after the mission. Yep.
So he knows and he's seen some things or two. So when you have a guy like this devoted to saving the kids, man, you kind of have to think, wow, what has he seen to completely divert his entire life path to saving the kids?
It would bring you to your knees if he's only told. I know there's shit that he's left out, and it literally had me in tears and also enraged and ready to okay, what can I do to help? Because the shit that he talked about that happens right here on our soil.
There you go.
Yep. He literally walked in and was just pick a kid, any kid, and buy one. Yep. That made me. Yep. I lost my breath.
Yep. And what you can help? You can become a conductor.
They just walked up to him and put their arms up like that. Just break my heart because they just want love. They don't even know they're being abused.
No, they're little kids.
And they're in countries over there that it's normal. That's normal for them, for uncle and daddy to just fucking do sick shit.
A white guy pulling up to this country, buying a kid. Think about that. It happens. There is a sick world that's out there. There's so many worlds within this world.
That movie Taken, where they go and they put him up on a showcase, that shit is real fucking life. It might not be like that, but they do that shit.
Where do you think these people, these producers and shit get these ideas? These billionaires get these ideas? Because they probably fucking went out there and participated in some shit like that. Came home and said, you know what? That would make a great movie. God, because it seems so real, right? Only seems real when it was real.
Shock, because when we find out about it in real life, we've seen a movie about it, so it's like we've at least heard about it. It's a way of dipping our toes in without making us putting our nose in it, operating it right up underneath our noses. They've been doing that shit for decades.
You ever seen a blonde-haired, blue-eyed person, whether guy or female? Tim has blue eyes, but they're not the blue that you think. They're more of a thin.
They're like hazel.
Blue.
Mm-hmm.
You ever stared into someone's blue eyes like they're an angel? Like, oh my God, you feel like you're staring into an angel sometime if they're the right blue. Yeah, what Tim has done is
You
incredible.
can see in his eyes though that he's like he's seen
He's seen some shit.
Yeah,
He's seen some
but
shit,
you
man.
can see that that same pain is what drives him into why he's so successful. Because
The
it's a
pain,
different. It's not money motivated. It's passion. He wants to save one kid from the shit that he's seen over there. That's a win for him, and he's done hundreds since he's been involved with this organization since he started it. My hat's off to him. You know, that right there is a hero through and through.
the pain will always drive you.
Yeah, but some
During
people take
Dominican
it and they
Republic
use it as an excuse
and
to
Colombia.
inflict pain on others. Not everybody can do that and take pain and let it drive them to do better. Some people let it eat them up and make it an
Well, they haven't controlled their pain.
Mm-hmm.
And that yielded the Colombia operation, which is in a documentary called Triple Take. That was over 120 rescues, 15 traffickers arrested. All that happened in a span of like the operation itself was like an hour and a half or something. We were doing 3 cities at once. Becomes an Emmy-winning documentary and becomes a feature film. The basis for the feature film Center of Freedom. Isn't that crazy? Those
That
first
is crazy.
operations. And then the first one in Haiti was, I mean, that was a documentary too called Operation Toussaint. Isn't it crazy? Our first 2 stories, it's like God blessed us with like all the elements to make sure that it was like something successful and something people might want to look at. Because not every operation comes off like that.
Right.
And it really was a blessing, right?
It was, yeah.
But those 2 operations, I'm going to go back in a second, have you give me your thoughts on what it was like. Because things are so different now, right? We have 150 employees. We have offices all over. We have MOUs. We have contracts. We have firewalls everywhere. But this is just like 2 guys building a team to go do a rescue, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were just back in Cartagena, a month ago?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Or maybe like 3 weeks ago, maybe, whatever. But we were back testifying on that case. When those 2 cases popped, they were so like impressive. And CBS News picked it up and, it was like, whoa, what happened? And all of a sudden people started thinking, OUR must be some established, like in a skyrise, like remember? And it was no, it's just us.
I know.
And I remember you told me the story once you were after a long day in Haiti, because all these donors started coming in. We're like, what do we do? The trash bag kept getting bigger and bigger of receipts.
It was about 7 trash bags.
Yeah, I was like, what do we do with these receipts? We should probably like call an accountant or something. Like
I had them organized in the bags. Okay, they were like rubber bands around. This is Colombia trash bag, and this is Dominican trash bag.
No, it worked out. Like the accountant said, no, it's fine. You organize it well enough. But what's interesting is people have said, well, how dare you call this Operation Underground Railroad? How would you respond right now to that? Because they somehow, I don't get it. I also have been told, how dare you adopt 2 children who are black?
Right.
Like what? What? I don't understand. They're children.
Right. I know.
But how do you respond to that today?
I mean, we're honored to use the methods that they invented, 150, 170 years ago, and to call ourselves after their names. Because people ask like, oh man, I'm just a little civilian, what can I do? Well, what did they do? They were just regular people like you and me. And they came up with a solution. They call themselves the Underground Railroad.
Yeah, I mean, the Underground Railroad, one of the most beautiful things about the original Underground Railroad is that it in a time of horrific, bloody racism, right? That you couldn't even imagine, like led to the Civil War and so many other things, so much violence. But it was during that time that a group of people of all races, the Underground Railroad is made up of black people, white people, German Americans, Mexican Americans. There was a route into Mexico. That's something that should be like praised and how great it is that we're trying to pay homage to that, because we need that today, right?
Absolutely.
And I love that name. I'll stand by that name because I stand by the original Underground Railroad. I asked somebody once who was attacking me about this. I said, if Frederick Douglass were here right now is talking, and I said, Mr. Douglass, is it okay that I invoke your name and your memory and all the good you did? Can I use that and as inspiration, even instruction, to rescue children who are being raped for money? And the person said to me, he would say, absolutely not. You can only use my name if you want to help just black people. Interesting. And that led to another conversation with somebody. Took offense at the fact that there was a picture of me.
I remember this. I was there. Yeah.
Yeah, you were there, holding a black boy on my knee who was being rescued. That was literally the rescue moment. And someone snapped. Mark Mabry was in the car and snapped an undercover picture of it. And I said, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
Right.
She's like, it's white savior complex.
That's only something people care about that sit around in conference rooms that are nice and air conditioned in the United States. Like nobody in Haiti cares what color you are if you can help them.
Do you think that kid cared? Like, oh, you know what? Can you bring someone who looks more like me to come rescue me?
Right.
Or do you think a white kid would be like, oh, I only want to be rescued by white people? The conversation was interesting because I pursued the line of questioning with this person, right? If you remember, and I said, what would you have me do? We have intel on children in Haiti. We also have intel on children in the US and in Mexico and in Europe and all over the world. But this case was in Haiti. That's where the intel came. We went down there and rescued these children, 26 of them. And by the way, the kid on my lap is my son. So that should be a little awkward for you. And she was like, what? And I said, what should I do about my Christmas card? Should I blur their faces out? Would that be good for them? Should I not work in Haiti? So should we have a policy that says OUR can only work in countries where white children will be rescued? Well, no, that would be super racist. Oh yeah, that would be, right? They don't even think it through. It's not even about rescue anymore. It's about who can be offended the most or something and play some virtue card. And I said, well, then what? She said, well, then don't talk about it. Don't market the stories where you're saving children of color. I said, that doesn't seem right. And I said to her, have you heard of Elizabeth Smart? She's like, yeah, of course. Okay. Is what happened to Elizabeth, and this person's in the anti-trafficking world, is what happened to Elizabeth Smart something that is unusual? Or is it pretty common? Happens every day, all throughout the world. Yeah. But all those people, all those kids all over the world don't get their faces put on Time Magazine and People Magazine and have every news outlet talking about how they were just abducted, do they? Well, no. Well, how come Elizabeth got that? Well, because she was a little white girl in Salt Lake City. I said, exactly. And what you just told me was to follow that pattern. You just told me that I should only tell the stories of the white kids. Do you think the media helped? Absolutely. Someone saw and said, is that girl? They all were talking about her. It helped her get rescued. So you want me to go to my friends in Haiti and my friends in Colombia and Mexico and anywhere else where there might be children of color and tell them, say, sorry, I can't tell the good work you're doing. I can't talk about the cases you need to talk about because someone might be offended if a white person is helping a person of color. Do you remember what she did? She got up and walked out of the room.
Yeah.
Because she couldn't answer the question. Like, we're just trying to rescue kids, and we have to fight already another battlefield I didn't know we had to fight. It's hard enough fighting human traffickers who have kidnapped children. But no, there's a whole nother contingent, the so-called good guys over here who want to just attack us, somehow calling us, you're racist because you're rescuing black kids. I got black operators who are rescuing white kids too. It doesn't matter. But it's just anything to find some card to play. I don't get it. But they're trying to stop us from rescuing children.
Wow. When you really think about what he just said, and the distractions that they face, the criticism,
It's absolutely horrible.
so it's not just, us, it's also them. They go through it even on a larger scale. That there are people out there that will literally do nothing but this when you're trying to do a good thing. Even as far as rescuing children.
It
I
is
know, that's
horrible. They don't do more. They're
unexpected.
not more active.
Our first, going into it, didn't see that coming at all.
I remember this black woman I was talking to, and she was a friend. We'd shared the stage together on different venues, and she went so far as to say, "I can't believe you're calling it slavery. You can't use the word slavery. That's only the word we can use." I said, "Really?"
I remember that.
You were there too.
Yeah.
Right? I said, "I don't understand. So, where did slavery begin?" Jewish people were slaves before, the transatlantic slave trade. Do they want that word? Are they trying to keep you from using that word? I don't understand. She said to me, the only people on earth today that are victims of slavery are people like me. And she's sitting there in this beautiful home. And in the other room at that time was a survivor who we had just helped, who had been raped, I think 60,000 times. And I thought to myself, she's not a slave. I can't call her a slave, but you are a victim of slavery. The result of that is kids get hurt and you still don't care. You'd still rather stand up and try to hurt our efforts. You don't call it slavery. What should I call it? I don't know. Slavery is what it is, and it gets people to the cause quick because that's what it is. And that's what saves them, because you tell the truth of what it is. You want me to make some fluffy words so that you feel better about your great-great-grandparents? I don't understand this. Frederick Douglass wouldn't let me. Who is he? Is he a total jerk? Of course not. I mean, Frederick Douglass fought for women's vote, for women's rights. He had other causes besides just, liberating his black brothers and sisters. Of course, he would stand with us and rescue children of all colors. I hope that when we focus on the rescue, it helps people to see what racism actually is and what it isn't. Anyway, with that tangent, because I'm just going back and I was having all these thoughts of these are the things we had to discuss as we launched. Who thought we were going to have to defend the name that was doing nothing but honoring people of all colors who had done a tremendous thing in the 19th century? Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
So with all that, without pressure, and who knew that pressure was going to continue to build in other areas, which we'll talk about on the show. But we go in with that. We go into Haiti anyway. And we get intel that there's a little boy who had been kidnapped and trafficked, and we didn't know much, but we knew no one was doing anything. And I got that intel as an agent, and I thought the kid is a U.S. citizen, have Haitian descent, right? Gardy Marty.
Right, Gardy.
We could help find this little kid. He was kidnapped in Haiti by Haitians. And I found the father, I flew him up, and he starts telling me his story. And it's just devastating me. I'm sobbing. I'm crying in this restaurant in Lehi, Utah. And he's telling me how his boy was taken in the middle of church, just walked out by someone who the family knew, given over to traffickers, who then tried to ransom him off, which they did successfully, but they didn't turn the kid over, because why turn the kid over when you can sell the kid? And then a couple weeks after this is happening, the earthquake in January of 2010 hits. And Gesno, the father who's looking for his son, is watching his mother die, his brother, his sister, his friends, his wife almost dies. And that's while he's looking for his kid. So now he's burying his dead and looking for his lost kid. And what happened to him in the earthquake, right? Well, he got together enough intelligence to give to us. And he said, I think the people responsible for, or at least part of it, they're running this fake orphanage. Like, what do you mean a fake orphanage? How do you pull that off? And sure enough, they had pulled it off, because in a place like Haiti, it's so chaotic. No one's looking, no one's watching. You can have a compound full of kids and no one's going to bat an eye on it, right? So we get some intel, we gather, research the whole thing, and find out it is false. We flew drones over top. There's a couple dozen children in this place. What are they doing with them? If they can't adopt them out, what are they doing with them? Well, we assume they must be selling them. This is how there's millions of children forced into slavery, whether it's slave labor, organ harvesting, sex trafficking. And so from there, the Haitian police don't know they don't know what they're doing. Like, guys, we got to infiltrate this place. Well, you guys go do it, because you look like you would infiltrate your American traffickers. Just cold call. It was a cold knock, right?
Organ harvesting. You got some billionaire. He's about to die because he needs something that could save him. That could come from, I don't know, a child, a teen, maybe pre-adult. And there's a market to get that organ so he can survive that death? You don't think these people will pay thousands and thousands of dollars to get that organ? And you don't think that turns into a market? Where if you know somebody who knows 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 somebody can make a phone call and be like, I need a liver. What's a blood type? AB. $150,000. Who do we wire it to? When's the delivery date? How soon do you need it? Tomorrow. You'll get it tonight. Click. Damn, is that how it happens? You don't think there's people out there who are so desperate that $150,000 could change their life? That they end up thinking consciously that they're just sacrificing someone for their own sake? And they're doing it for their own cause? Or maybe it just turns into a market to where people are just looked at as cattle. And a dollar sign will take you out of those Jordans real
Fucking
quick.
auctions, yeah.
Yep.
Highest bidder.
It happens. Maybe not just in this country, but the countries where they can get away with it. Ukraine. I only know those foreign countries by watching like oh fuck, whatever they are. Something in Logoslovakia or Slovakia or those fucking places way out there. Hostile. Remember that movie Hostile? You think that was just a movie? You get some guy who is so desperate to where he's about to take his own life, and you think that he won't negotiate a deal to go snatch that 13-year-old and give him to fucking Jeffrey Epstein here? You bet your ass they do. And it happens every day.
Right? Just walk in and see what's going on. So take it from there.
So
I've never asked you this. I must be a selfish person to have never cared
prick.
about your thoughts on this 10 years later. But I care now.
Well, better late than never. My involvement was, I remember pretty specifically. I actually was just helping logistically set it up, and then last minute, they're like, "Oh, we need toys to bring because if we're gonna break the, take this down, then all these kids we want to like give them toys." So I went to like Target, Walmart, filled up as many duffel bags as I could, and then I just showed up and like, "Here I am, guys," and then I got thrown in ways that I didn't even plan on into the op. So for me, I mean, it was just super eye-opening. I mean, I think that was probably like my second flight in my whole life. And then to go to, Haiti, it was all super new to me. I was exhausted when I got there.
It's like going to the moon.
It's like going to the moon.
I mean, Haiti is just like,
yeah.
You can't even believe it. Like,
you can't believe it. Exactly. And, I remember getting there and I was blown away by the team. I remember we had like team briefings with the police and a lot of planning that goes into like in all of our operations. And then we went in there, and you went in as an American couple.
So we just walked in, didn't explain what our intent was with the kids. They didn't ask, and it was right away. It was just, yeah, they're all for sale. It was like 5 minutes, and they just offered without us even soliciting. $10,000, and then they raised the price to $15,000. Here's how you do it. We've done that before. You evade police this way, that way. It's just like, this is insane. So we go back to the police and deliver the intel. And they say, okay, go in and buy a kid. And there's this amazing footage of this, right? Where we walk in, and I don't think it matters. I'm just going to buy any kid. And I walk in, and right as I'm looking for a kid to buy, this little boy just turns around, like It's like an angel whispered, "Turn around." That's what it looks like. He just goes about face and then walks up to me and puts his arms up.
Yeah, that was Collet, right?
Yeah, and that's Collet, my son. So I pick him up and I'm like, well, I guess God's telling me this is the kid we're going to use in the sting operation. And then I come to find out moments later that he's got a sister, or at least someone who claimed to be a sister.
Now she had followed you around, like
She was following me
wouldn't
around.
let Collet out of her sight.
Yeah, and like she was like with this pissed look, like this guy. What's this Blanc? He called me Blanc.
Blanc, yeah.
Hey, Blanc, Blanc. It hit me what was happening. I gave her a candy bar. She remember, like this is when we were like, I was hidden in a place. I was looking for Gardy. I had a camera on. I don't think it was actually functioning, but I had a camera on. I was just trying to look for all the kids and get a count. And I was holding Collet, so it looked like I was just like hanging out. He was showing me his room, whatever. And I had the traffickers were distracted because Andrew was negotiating the price of the kids. And this little girl kept following me. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're kind of freaking me out, like, here, take this candy bar and get out of here. And she like takes the candy bar, looks at me and like breaks it like this and gives the other half to Collet. And that's when it hit me like, okay, that's an unusual act for a 2-year-old, right, to do.
No.
And then I put Collet down and she just grabbed him, put him behind her, just like put herself between me and him. I was like,
that was awesome.
Who is this kid? And so I told her in the best I could, my broken Creole, and you can talk to kids in an interesting way, right? They get it. And I think she got it. She's like, I'm keeping you together. I'm getting you out of here. And then from that point on, she changed. Her countenance was like, and she started calling me Papa Blanc. Collet still called me Blanc, but she's like, Papa Blanc.
No, that day.
Yeah.
On the op day.
Yes.
Oh, I thought that came after. Wow.
No, she started calling me Papa Blanc right away. Anyway, so we take the kids to a different place to buy them. We've taken them to a hotel that's very, cameras and audio, everything hidden, so we can really get the intent of what these people are doing, right? And they repeat everything. These kids are for sale. Here's how you avoid the police. It was a perfect case, right? And then, they end up getting arrested. And from there, I want to get your perspective, though, because I don't know. I can't remember where you were, but I've seen this picture many, many times of you. I think you're in the Sting house, the Sting Hotel suite, and you're holding Colleen and Colleen, my kids, on your lap, right?
Yeah. I was, while the deal was being done, I kind of acted like a security. I remember Eve Rose,
the trafficker.
Two traffickers came in. I did like a little pat down of them, and they went in, and then you went outside, and I stayed in the room with Colleen and Collet while you were getting arrested. So I was like coddling them on my lap, and I was looking out the window, and I saw like, police come, and you guys all get down on the ground, and
these kids had no idea.
For I don't know, maybe like 30 minutes, I was just hanging out with the kids and wondering what the heck just happened to my life. So
it was kind of startling. It was our first.
It was startling. Yeah,
this worked.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, like, thank the Lord. Like, even if everything fails from this point on, like, it will have been worth it.
Yeah.
To just end this for these 26 kids. Right? I mean, anyone could come in and buy them for any reason. And it's so easy. It was so easy, right?
From there, we went back to the orphanage. And this is like my first experience, just being shocked by,
because we had to go rescue all the kids
other kids, and because you had been burned,
I got fake arrested, so I couldn't show up again.
So they were like, "Oh, Coop, you go in there," and like, mind you, I'm like completely green.
I didn't even know this.
Yeah. I remember I told you I brought those.
Oh, you had the toys,
those duffel bags.
Yeah.
So I went in there to.
What was it like?
I went in there and walked around and. Dang it. Just saw like complete. Sorry, it's hard to talk about. I mean, they were like newborn babies laying in piss and feces. Kids with bloated tummies. I could see some food. It looked like a bowl of flour, and they put some water in it, just made a mush. And that was my first experience on the job in the Underground Railroad.
The traffickers weren't living that way, though, were they?
No.
It was so funny. Their office was beautiful, like
Right.
Haitian standards, but still tile floors. I remember they were eating just fine, and these kids were out because they didn't. They were just keeping them alive until they could sell them. This is the third time I've seen you cry ever. I've known you for a long time.
I don't like to tell that story for a reason.
The first time was when, we were being questioned about what we do, right?
Mhm.
It was too good to be true for some people, right? And they were like attacking us, right? You can't be doing. I don't believe you. Me. You know, looks like a total turd at the end when it's all true. In fact, it wasn't just true, and this is what I was reporting to you. The numbers we had been counting for how many people we had rescued, there's like a couple thousand more rescues than you actually counted.
Oh, wow.
And I was just all pissed, and I was telling you the story. Can you believe this? We actually, the numbers, I can't remember what it was. It was actually like 8,000 or whatever it was. We could report 8,000. And I was just pissed about just being attacked. And you're just being quiet over here. I'm just like, and I look over and you have tears coming down, not because you're pissed, but you're just like, can you believe that after 8 years or 9 years, whatever it was, that when we started in the barn, that's how many lives have been affected. That's how many people have been rescued. And that's all you saw. And it kind of melted my heart. And I was just like, oh, yeah, I should probably just focus on that.
Yeah.
That was the first time I saw you cry. Second time I saw you cry when Dave Acosta died on July 30th, 2020. We found out right as I was going on stage and we just hired this guy. It's an amazing story, right? We just hired him and then he died on a
terrible
bike accident.
Yeah.
And now 2 of his 3 kids work for us. There's a spiritual element to that too. And the third time is right here. You're not a man of many tears. So you guys that's a treat to see this guy cry. It's very rare footage. It's like finding Bigfoot in the wild or something. That's what just happened here. So we get those kids out, and the constant reminder of that operation is we see my kids every day, and the other kids we know where they went to. Every day that was it. That was our. And the other kids we know where they went. February 19th. I know that date too because my kids got the. Every day was birthday, and the other kids we know where they. Because there was no paper on them, so the Haitians just said, "Well, their birthday's the day they were rescued."
Mm-hmm.
February 19th, 2014, very first rescue, and that was it. And then from there, we didn't have enough money even to go home. We were jumping back and forth to Colombia because we were working the Colombia cases at the same time. Remember, back and forth, and that leads us to Operation Triple Take, which we will kick off in the next episode. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. And we'll be back with episode 2, and we're going to get into what happened after Haiti. We went from Haiti to Colombia to see what we could do there. And that's an exciting story as well. So we will see you guys next time from the Wilberforce Operations Center. Thanks for watching In the Trenches.
You would think there'd be way more coverage than they have on this.
Well, that's why you're here. You can go to the website and you can sign up to be a conductor, and you can help spread the awareness. Or you can do deep diving cases, situations where we do in these cases, and if you come across something that you think, now that's really suspicious, and you want to send it off to other people to look into.
If there are people that would like to participate and actually help in this fight with these people, what is the link they would go to?
www.operationundergroundrailroad. Is it com or
.org.
.org.
Yes. Then click on Become a Conductor, and you can subscribe to get weekly updates and anytime they do anything, and you can actually go a step further. And if you want to be hands-on and boots on the ground, like you can get on a list to do
Yep.
training online, and then they'll send you like anytime that they're doing something like rally wise or anything in your area, you'll be like the first one on the list. And then if if they don't, it's first come first serve. If they call you and you don't have an answer, then they move on to the next person. But they have a lot of outreach stuff, and I mean there's millions of ways that you can contribute more than just donating money, but that's an option too, because it's a 501c3, and all that information is all on the website. They have it's set up pretty easy. Like they got the homepage. It makes it clear what you want to do, where to click.
It's straight legit. Straight legit.
A legit
Straight
And it's something you can
501c
feel
that's
good
very
about getting behind.
transparent.
Right.
He's
And
it
you'll
is
feel good about it afterwards. Like you was involved in something positive instead of
absolutely.
helping the darkness.
Yep. And as you see,
Because
the
it's
darkness
our
even fights
kids
him.
that it's our kids coming up in this generation that have kids that are having kids that that's what the war is against, and they don't know that they're at war. So it's our job as parents and just as Americans at this point to protect our own, and that's not happening with people in power. So if they're not going to do it for us, then this is you taking a stand and protecting your child and your neighbor's child and your nieces and your nephews and your friends' kids. I mean, none of them are safe. If they have a phone that has internet access, you might as well be handing them a loaded gun. And that's harsh, but that is the bruntness of it. That they're not safe playing video games with their friends. The more online they are, the more they are at risk, and they don't have to go outside. They don't have to leave the house. They could be exploited from the same roof you're under, and you never know.
See. There you go, Steve Olson, the Clinton Foundation, all that money for Haiti, and they fix. There's a reason why the
Look at
Clinton
Biden with all
Foundation
the
was
money he
involved.
sent into Ukraine. You seeing the pattern here?
There is a pattern, and that's what we'll explain tonight on the show with Aiden. You're going to see some kind of weird tie. Think about that. That's a great point to point out, Mighty Mouse, is what Steve Olson said. I pointed out in the chat. You could share it right there. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger for everyone. All right. That's good right there. He says here, Clinton Foundation, all that money for Haiti, and they fix nothing. The Clinton Foundation, think about the Clintons and what they're tied to. Epstein and, even trafficking, the whole containers with Evergreen, the transportation between China and the United States with their Evergreen oceanic shipping shit, whatever they do with the Clintons. So there's something with the Clinton Foundation in Haiti. Then when you look at Biden, who's buddies with Billy there and Jeffrey and all the other
sending fucking boatloads of money to fucking Ukraine,
and then Operation Underground, what you're going to see tonight again with proof, with some proof this time that I think we might have touched on something.
Makes way more sense why it was harmful conspiracies now, because it's harmful because we're on their fucking trail, harmful to their existence because they're not in the shadows anymore.
Yes.
Yep. And instead of fighting us and bullying us, we should be more concerned about what's really going on with these kids.
We brought you, Mighty Mouse, Alice, and me brought you the whole storyline of Aiden Clune and how nothing made sense. All the way down to this rancher and why he never did nothing. And then, all of a sudden, we're fucking being hit. Storylines are being changed. Timelines are being rewritten. Money from ATMs are taken out in totally different places. Facebook names are being changed. Pictures are being deleted.
Different, yeah.
The number one
It's completely different. The pictures are all different. I mean, even from
Not to
last time we've
mention the
done
porn
this.
sites that pop up when you try to actually do real research on it.
Oh, I
That's
found
the
something deeper.
GoFundMe. That's a whole nother thing.
To go, yeah. There's I found something. Actually, I didn't find it. I can't take any credit for this. It was uh Justice for Harmony. But what she zeroed in on, and I think I shared it with you, my mouse,
Yeah, we were talking about it
will
as I
blow
was
your fucking mind.
going through freaking hurricane, whatever,
Blow your mind.
pop-up hurricane.
And we have to start it off with the video from Operation Underground Railroad about one of the biggest busts in the world, they said, was happening. The pedophile capital of the world, slave trafficking, human trafficking, you name it, Ukraine. Ukraine, and a lot of money has been pumped into Ukraine by Biden. Millions and millions for what?
Yeah,
Dollars.
right, and they're doing it where we know about it. Can you imagine all the fucking the dirty money that's been funneled under there that we don't know about? Just think about it. I mean, billions are coming that we know our taxpayers' dollars are going over. Can you imagine the dirty money?
A guy like Biden who loves to touch little kids, sending money
Fucking
to
sniff
Ukraine
their
where they
hair
just
and
found
shit,
out it's
you
a
weirdo.
pedophile
Yeah, you
capital of the world.
Kitty sniffer.
He's fucking sending money there. Something fishy with that.
Yeah, and then when you think, and then when you go deeper in the shit that was on that laptop about the fucking shit going on with that business that Hunter was tied to, it gets fucking real sick real quick.
Yep.
Because that shit's in black and white, and they're fucking trying to indict Trump over a freaking affair, which is maybe less on the moral side, but it's not a fucking crime to sleep with somebody that's not your wife. Why the fuck is Hunter not in handcuffs and the rest of the Bidens? Even the
Well,
fucking
it's the same thing.
grandkids
You
are
could look at
funneling money, dirty money in their accounts.
you could look at Jim Terry and say the same thing. Well, why isn't these
Exactly.
motherfuckers
They
suffering and
protect
we
the
are?
fucking pedophiles.
We're talking about real life shit and we're being
Yeah,
fucking
it's
sacrificed.
right now. It is a time to be a fucking pedophile. Simple as that. Boy, is it their time.
There you go, pushing people again.
Sorry, I got mad talking about Hunter Biden, man. I just about to black out.
There's a lot of labs found in Ukraine linked to the adrenochrome. You know what? I'll get behind that, Beth. I will get behind that, Beth, because this adrenochrome is a market. And in order for have a market, you need supply. And I bet the demand is extremely high. And when you have a demand that's extremely high, you have people willing to pay top dollar. And when you have people willing to pay top dollar, you're going to have a much bigger demand for this adrenochrome. Now, either the government or these people who are behind it all or do it all can either grow their own babies and harvest it, which like they say they're doing underground, or would it be easier just to go snatch someone without having to grow someone, harvest it, feed it? You know, these people are like, fuck all that. It's too much work.
Oh yeah, they're all about cutting corners.
So cutting corners would mean, honestly, one thing, snatching someone.
Especially if it's a poor country where all you got to do is go offer them some money and they'll sell you your kid. Snatch
someone. Yep. But yeah. But
because of poverty being what poverty is.
But to get those kids here or that kind of adrenochrome here, I mean, you would need to go through all kinds of loopholes. So
put them underground.
What if there's a market? What if there's a market for that need out here?
Absolutely.
What if there's a market for that need out here? Well, I don't know. Let's start going to all these old milk jug cartons of missing kids on the back of them. You think all that's just, This has been going on for what the market has been going on for a long time. Go do the statistics on the missing kids in the United States. You probably are not aware of the number.
No, because most of them are not reported because they're indigenous or they're migrants now because of all the influx coming over the border. They take advantage of the vulnerable societies because in their eyes, nobody's going to look for them or nobody's going to care. So they prey on that. Transient people, you know, like, and most of it isn't even reported because of like what Tim was saying. It's not the little blonde hair, blue eyed white girl from Salt Lake.
I shared it with you. We'll Google it now. How many? Oops.
Hunter Biden on the fucking cover of every news station, but he still hasn't been indicted. That's right there is America.
You're not United Stars, damn it.
Piss me off. Fucking crackhead.
All right. Do you think this is where YouTubers come for content?
Probably not.
Well, they can look for missing posters or.
No, I don't even think they do that. They wait for the news to report it, and they literally just read it from there.
Because then it's not real and they don't have to get their hands dirty and get involved.
That doesn't even look like a real person. That looks like a fucking AI picture. What is happening here?
It could be.
This is the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. So it tells you all the trafficking stuff.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
What I'm looking for is a number right here by the numbers.
I gave you a fork.
So in 2022, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
That's yummy.
Has received 19,000 reports. 18% were likely victims of child sex trafficking.
I mean, the numbers are outrageous.
Well,
that's
you'll
what's
see
reported.
these kids every day. You probably walk by them and don't even realize
twice
it.
That's not reported.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I know most of them are discouraged to report it because they know I mean, the shit that I watched on Dr. Phil the other day, where that football guy and the stories of just how he made them feel because they were pretty much told them they were white trash, like they're not going to believe you, like just discouraged them from even wanting to go and talk, much less even having the courage to speak out anyway. But just taking what little bit you have and just, nobody's going to believe you, you're white trash, your society says that you're a liar and nobody's going to believe you. Like, can you?
And what are they going to do even if they did?
Exactly. And that, and that was back in the 80s, the fucking 80s. And something's just now being done about it. I mean, that man will maybe see 10 years before he dies. Like, what justice is that? Why these kids lived in fear all their adult lives, and and constantly had relationship problems, and just all the way around, just
check this out.
Trauma.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Lavishly as like fucking stellars members of the community.
I want you to take a good look at the number right there, about where it says 98%. This is by the numbers.
It says 98% of cases involved children who ran away or were abducted by family members.
That's right. Can you believe that? 98% of cases involved children who ran away or were abducted by a family member. $3,147 children were recovered after being missing 6 months or longer. Only 151 have been recovered after been missing for a decade or longer.
In each country, their laws on trafficking differ. They're different.
Let's go out to Montello area. Or, oh, you know, this looks like Wells, you guys. Let's go out here and see. Holy shit, look at all these cases out here in San Jose, San Francisco area. Where
I'm telling you, when you go in there,
dude,
you'll see signs that say "Careful for trafficking."
that's like where Mr. X and them
Bro,
are from, right?
It's scary. Listen, there's a couple hundred missing in Nevada and but listen, when you get over there to California, it's hundreds. It goes up to like
They
fucking
have signs warning that you
Dude.
could be kidnapped for
600
trafficking.
missing kids since January of 2022. That is fucking crazy.
Dude,
There should
oh
be
my
a
God,
fucking
look
state
at
of
this one,
emergency
you
because there's
guys.
that many
I'm telling you,
kids
they
in
have
this van.
signs warning you to be careful because you
Oh
may be
my.
kidnapped to be trafficked.
That's outrageous. How did 600 kids just disappear and there's nobody talking about it?
Oh my God, dude, the heart of it is San Diego and San Francisco area. That's
And
where
the only thing they do
and
is
where
put
the
up
fuck are all
signs.
these weirdos at?
That's
Where's all
where
these weirdos at,
Robbie,
Mike?
that's where
Inky?
Inky Stinky and
X?
Mr. X is right in the heart, right there. These guys probably are traffickers.
I'm telling you.
But all
They
they
get on
do in those
listen, they get
places
on
is put up
Twitch and
signs.
play video games with kids and try to and it's fucking weird, man. If nothing else, it's really fucking strange and it could have fooled me.
Oh my Lord. Look at the Long Beach, Los Angeles. Oh my God, it's just cluttered. That's scary to raise kids there. I'm sorry.
And listen, her nonprofit, the address I believe is in San Francisco.
Yeah. So a lot of the Oakland, San Francisco, all this Sacramento area are all the heart of trafficking. And it seems to have a route. You know what?
Yummy.
You know what, you guys? Let's analyze and see if there is a trafficking route. You know what I mean? By going through like the roads and stuff, like see if there's a pattern of kids coming up missing along these roads.
What do you mean? It's fucking Highway 80.
Exactly. Look, all the way up.
Yes. And it takes you all the way to the other side of the fucking country. And you
Yep.
go right
And look.
Nevada.
You're right. Look at follow the dots, goes all the way up and then into Reno.
Yes. And Wells.
And guess where it ends, you guys? Right there in Wells. Let's see what's going on here. All right.
And then you go to 93 and you go the rest of the way.
So it didn't really happen in Wells. It happened out here. But let's go on to who it was.
Because it didn't happen in that motel that he stayed at in Reno because we have nothing but ever-changing stories that he was at Motel 6 in Reno and then he was in one in Wells. I believe Reno is more possible because when you called them, they gave you a legitimate answer and said, we can't give you that information, bring the police. Wells, everything about that screamed red flag, red flag, red flag.
So they're between the age of 14 and 18, 16 and 25, dates body found in the 70s.
Yes.
Oh, look. This brings up an even better map, you guys, of my area. Look right here, Utah Test and Training Range, all this shit, okay? Look, it covers almost half the whole damn state. This is all military area. Means they do, it's Area 52, which is Area 51's sister. But if you go across the way, see all this gray shit, okay? That's more military stuff. And then Dylan was actually right there.
Well, Mike, what if they're not going that way? What if they're just going the rest of the way and going over the border to Mexico? Or they're going that way? You know, money goes one way and the kids go another way.
I think your voice is messed up.
She has bad storms right now.
Oh, that's right.
But she made a point, though. Money's going one direction, the kids are going another.
All these are kids.
Yeah, like the money could be going on the trucks one way and the kids are going the other way across the border because it's a shit. They could just walk across at this point.
And most of them, they're so brainwashed that they could be left alone and unattended in public places and nobody would suspect anything.
You sound like Marshall. Oh,
Kind of sound like Marshall. Wow, all these are kids. All these are kids.
Bo wants to know the name of the website.
Of what?
one you're on.
Oh, the fuck. Hold on. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
I'm gonna go out and come back.
The concentration of missing kids are coming from San Francisco and Los Angeles and the lower Arizona.
And yet all they do is put up a sign to warn you.
Yes. Damn it. Stop that. Oh, what happened? We lost her. We lost her.
Yeah, she's got a bad storm. There she is.
She got hit by the storm.
No, I pushed her this time. She's been pushing me all morning.
She fell down.
Yeah, now I can keep on knocking, but I can't come in.
Quite interesting. The concentration of where these kids are coming up missing.
We're almost at 333 for the time.
Oh, that means Mike's about to rage quit.
That's when I'm about to end. It's been great hanging out with you guys. I got a live stream starting in 2, 3, 4, 3 hours. 8 include new information. I think it's going to blow your mind. It has to do with some stuff.
Deeper dive of what we just pretty much broke on the surface of right here.
See you soon.
Yep.
You left 3 minutes early.
Yeah, because he knows he can't. Because if he would have got 3 minutes into a conversation, he'd have went on and it'd been 40 minutes after, and then he'd been like, "Oh fuck, I can't wait till 4 hours." He's weird. He won't end it unless it's on like a even, like he won't end it at like 47. He'll wait until the next hour. I've noticed.
Well, certain numbers he won't end it on. He's got me doing all OCC, where everything I do now is in patterns of 3.
Yeah, it's because you're brainwashed. Because he's a cult leader. You drank the Kool-Aid.
Hell yeah, it was some good Kool-Aid. You want some? I'm just actually a good thing that I had to come in early today at work to where I'm working the day shift, because then I'll be able to have my full attention on this tonight. I'm currently on lunch right now.
Aiden's been in therapy since he was 4. I've never heard that. That's interesting.
Who? Aiden?
Yeah, that's what
I knew that.
said.
Yeah, the mom had been saying that for a while.
She said that he resisted it, but she didn't say.
See, that's what confused me about it, because she said that he had been, and then she was saying that she didn't know he was in counseling, receiving counseling, but
yeah,
yet
that don't make no sense.
She keeps flip-flopping on that.
Yeah, like she does everything. Yeah, for everybody in chat that has not, I would highly recommend go watching the interview that she did, not on Lance's, what's his name? Mob Crew, Chris from Monsters Under Our Bed. I think it was the 21st of April, so it was like 5 or 6 days ago. Go watch it. It's about 2 hours long. And just, I have no words. Just go watch it and you can rant with us when we come back tonight, because that, and on top of the stuff that Justice for Harmony has been looking into, which has sparked my investigation to kind of take another rabbit hole, should we say, until we get to the bottom of it. I don't feel bad about putting heat on this woman, is all I'm saying, because if this shit comes out to be any kind of connected to anything of this nature, there's no way to make it paint a pretty picture on it. So if you're going to be offended about, don't talk about the parents of it, this probably not going to be the show for you, because I'm going to talk some shit, and I want to know what the fuck your problem is, lady. I want to know what the fuck your problem is, lady, because I don't. You're 2 and 2 is 4, and this shit is not adding up, and I'm not really liking the fucking picture it's painting for you, boo boo.
I want to know what the grandma had to say when Mike calls her back.
The fact that she didn't call him back and she didn't just say yeah, the fact that she needed permission from Amy is really
Yeah,
not
but she said
helping
to
this.
call back tomorrow.
Yeah, and as far as I know, last time I talked to Mike about it, she hadn't called.
Well, she said to call her.
Yeah, but the for what are you, what is it like? I don't get that. Like, why do you need permission to talk about your grandson when did it happen, or you gotta what the fuck do you need approval for? That's suspicious to me. It's not a normal reaction, especially when it's
And
not
you
her
can tell
daughter.
she wanted to talk.
It's the in-laws of the family that didn't have anything to do with Aiden. None of it
You
makes
could
fucking
tell she
sense.
wanted to talk.
Yeah, but almost like she's not allowed to. Like, same thing as Candace. You don't think Justin would probably like to say a lot, but it just seems like they just don't. Where's Candace, Karen, and fucking Larry? Everybody just lets her run the show, knowing good and damn well she's blowing fucking smoke out of people's asses. She don't even know what the hell she's talking about, because she wasn't in Dylan's life like that. And people would respect her more if she'd just own it and say that. Not all fucking moms are butterflies and rainbows. You pretending to be one makes me suspicious of what the fuck you're trying to cover up.
Exactly. Are we going to be streaming it through my stream as well, or just yours on YouTube and Rumble, so people know?
I'm not gonna do. It's just Mike's on his Rumble, because
All right. So that's where we got to go, guys.
yeah. I'm sure he'll give us the StreamYard link or whatever. But yeah, his streams are strictly Rumble.
Yeah, we'll keep it strictly Rumble.
Yeah, especially this stuff,
I just
because
wanted to clarify it for those in the room.
But what I've been doing is that since he's been scheduling them and I know the time, I just go on my YouTube and I schedule, and I just go live for like an hour ahead of time and have the link on the banner. So everybody that is on YouTube, like you said, that doesn't know, to give them the last opportunity. Hey, this is the link. This is how you can get there. Even if you can't chat, don't miss it. Still watch it. So, because everybody's been on this journey, they know it would suck for everybody to lose contact right when we're starting to make headway, because this is what I wholeheartedly believe that whatever it is that we are getting close to is got more to do with us being silenced than us having ban evading. Salty said 5 his time, 7, so 7 my time, which I don't know why I said that. Like, it helps. I know you don't know what time zone I'm in, but I don't either, so I can't help you.
What time did he say his time?
5
And
yeah, 5 his time.
then it's 4 Pacific Standard Time, and his time is Mountain Time.
And 7 my time.
Mm-hmm. Which is Eastern Time.
There you go. What she said.
But I'm gonna get out of here. I got to finish up the rest of this meeting.
Yep.
But my stream's still going, so if you're gonna stay on, have
Yeah,
at it.
I'm gonna.
Cassie's got control of the room, the
Yeah,
chat.
I'm gonna play some videos and shit, and then end it, because I gotta go do some research and stuff to bring to Mike's show. So. And
Yeah, I
some
gotta let
like
my phone
chores in the
charge,
real
and
world that I just really don't feel like doing, because I don't know. I just don't.
I gotta let my phone charge some so it quits trying to die and he quit being able to push me.
Yeah, it's still hot in here because the AC hasn't got back like flowing yet. It's just muggy, and I don't feel like doing anything. Ill.
But I have 8 minutes, and there were a few things I wanted to check out also for tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. Justice for Harmony been a little busy bee. I would, if you haven't talked to her recently, I would recommend it, because boy, she's been doing some really good research, and she's got my wheels turning, and consequently made me go down an avenue that I have dug up some very interesting things as well. So yeah, shout out to her. Obviously, she's a big person behind the scenes that does a lot
Yes, she is.
on, like, but just there, appreciate the just the observantness, the shit that's obvious in plain sight, that she just took the time to zoom in on, and actually zero in on, and what I overlooked it 10 million times. I appreciate the little things that could be
Well-
nothing, but I think it all comes into perspective with all this shit that
She said she just texted you.
okay, girl.
Kathy Waters says, thank you so much, Kaylee, for your help. I do appreciate it so much. Love you. And then Think Alice, $28. Are you sharing the Kool-Aid? I'm always willing to share the Kool-Aid. Just don't mind the funny taste. She says if we don't see her, she'll be listening.
I think she said she fixed it, so we should see it. If not, Eddie said he was going to help her.
Yeah, he's a good man.
Considering he's the, Rico Suave, it just fixes itself. He didn't even have to verify his email. Fucking King Swift over there.
Well, I'm going to copy us.
Are you fucking kidding me? That is very rude, even for you, you asshole. On that note, I'll see y'all tonight on Rumble. Don't leave though. Unless you have to. I'm gonna play some interesting videos that shout out to Corey for sending these to me, because I didn't really know how to feel about it at first, because I was a little angry, like, oh my god, like I needed this much more confusion in my life. But I've watched it a couple more times and I can appreciate how much sense it makes. But it also confuses me, so it's a love-hate thing, but I still love you, Corey. And F you, Alice. That was mean. You bully. I'm sick of this. I'm about to file a report on you. Bye.
Today I'm going to be talking the new things about probably the most urgent and powerful knowledge that has been kept from humanity for thousands of years and is very, very important. This is esoteric truth. Exoteric truth denies this.
A massive amount of thinking, like truly stupendous amount of thinking, has gone into sex without procreation.
Do you know about sexual alchemy? There's 33 vertebrae in your spine. There's 33 years in the life of Jesus
Christ, yeah.
Substance that comes from your medulla, which is basically completely looks like the Ark of the Covenant. Has angel's wings around it. This substance comes from your medulla, makes the trip down your spine to your sacrum, which is the Christ coming down into human form. And if you don't squander that essence, that sexual essence, it ascends again and goes back up to heaven, which is your thing. It's also the story of Santa Claus. Why he comes down the chimney is because this juice or this whatever substance actually passes what's called the claustrum, which is where they got Santa Claus. So it goes down the chimney and back up the chimney.
In the brain, in the cranium, there is the cerebrum. And in the cerebrum, and in particular the claustrum is sitting right there in the middle of the head, virtually. From the claustrum, there is a secretion, brain fluid. And this fluid is an oil. And in ancient times, this fluid, in Greek, it's called Christos. It's called the Christ. It's this beautiful fluid which comes from the cerebrum and pours down the spinal cord. It goes down the spinal cord and it reaches the sacral plexus, right next door to the sacrum, which are the 5 second bottommost fused vertebrae bones at the bottom of the spinal column. The bottommost portion of the spinal column is called the coccyx. Then just above that is the sacrum, 5 fused bones. So the sacral plexus is connected to the sacrum. And the fluid which comes from the cerebrum pours down the spinal cord and comes to the bottommost part of the spinal cord. Now, the claustrum is otherwise known as the holy claustrum, simply because of this beautiful oil, this Christos, that is produced and secreted. You see, the word secret comes from secretion, because this secretion is a secret. And the sacrum is the sacred part of the secret. As the secretion pours down the spinal cord and reaches the sacrum, This is the marvelous way in which our body has been designed. And the spinal cord is basically just an extension of the brain. It also does thinking. And you see, the holy claustrum is otherwise known as the Santa claustrum, because this fluid that goes down to the sacred plexus is a sacred fluid. This is where the story of Santa Claus bringing presents down the chimney comes from. It's a story of physiology, and the Bible is a beautiful manual of physiological regeneration. What happens with this fluid is that every month when the moon is in the sign where your sun was when you were born, every month there is a germ or a seed planted in the solar plexus, which is just above the sacral plexus. And that germ is the oil, the Christ, which is born in Bethlehem, because the solar plexus is otherwise known as Bethlehem, where the Christ is born. And that oil needs to return whence it came, in the midbrain. You see, as the oil ascends the spinal cord, the vibration of the oil of the Christ increases. And you see, first of all, the oil is differentiated in the pineal gland and the pituitary gland before it is sent down the spinal cord. In the midbrain, you see, as the oil ascends the spinal cord, the vibration of the oil of the Christ increases. And you see, first of all, the oil is differentiated in the pineal gland and the pituitary gland before it is sent down the spinal cord. And the pineal gland is the electric portion, and the pituitary gland is the magnetic portion. So the oil is differentiated, and it is brought down the spinal cord via the Pingala and the Ida nerves. These are what is otherwise known as the Kundalini and the Kundabhatha. So it arrives at the sacral plexus and awaits for the germinating of the seed once a month, 12 times a year. And if we are able to transmute that seed and cause it to rise, as it rises in the spinal cord, it eventually reaches the medulla oblongata and the pons and the midbrain, and it crosses the vagus nerve, otherwise known as the pneumogastric nerve. It's a nerve which descends from the brain area, from the pineal and pituitary glands, respectively, and it feeds the lungs and the stomach. It's a network of nerves, and this network of nerves is called the tree of life. And you see, the ancients knew that this seed that is born in Bethlehem once a month is the Christ, and that if one were to abstain from sex during that period, that oil and seed would be saved, and it would rise, and it would burst through the heart chakra, through the throat chakra, and eventually the oil would arrive with its higher vibration, because you see, at the bottom, the oil has a very low vibratory rate, whereas with proper practices, meditation, breathing, good eating, and good peaceful behavior, one is able to raise that Christ, that oil, so that it crosses the vagus nerve at the top of the spinal column, the 33 vertebrae of the spinal column. You see, because the Christ is crucified at 33 years of age. When the oil arrives at the very, very top, there awaiting is the optic thalamus, an egg-shaped organ in the middle of the head. When it crosses this pneumogastric nerve, this is called the crucifixion. The oil is not killed and destroyed, but it is magnified 1,000-fold. And the oil then touches the optic thalamus, and for 2.5 days remains in a condition that is called dead, that is considered to be dead, and then reaches the pineal gland after 2.5 days and illuminates the optic thalamus and the pineal gland. The optic thalamus was known as the light of the world by the Egyptians and the Greeks, because they knew their physiology and anatomy. And they knew that this precious oil, which descended from the claustrum, from the cerebrum, and was differentiated in the pineal and pituitary glands and descended the spinal cord, they knew that it would ascend eventually, and that the enlightened portion of mankind were able to cause this Christ oil to ascend so that it would ascend to the optic thalamus and cause it to be lightened. What in turn happens is that millions of brain cells that were dormant are now awakened. And you see, there are practices and there are things that are very, very detrimental about this oil. For instance, overeating and alcohol and sex practiced at the wrong time. These destroy the seed, and this is what is known as eating from the tree of life. Because you see, the ancients knew that once the oil is depleted because of riotous living, the fleshly organism dies. Death results from using up all of the oil. You see, the oil that descends from the cerebrum is known otherwise as the manna from heaven. You see, because heaven means heaved up. And the head, the cranium, the dome which sits on top of the torso, that was known as the heavens. And the heart area and the heart chakra was known as the Midgard, or the middle garden. And the generative area was known as Sodom and Gomorrah, the area of desire, animal desire, otherwise known as Egypt and hell and the world, etc. Whereas the Garden of Eden and the land flowing with milk and honey, that's upstairs. In fact, the pineal gland produces the honey, a secretion known as honey, which has DMT in it, and the pituitary body secretes the milk. This is the milk and honey. And the land flowing with milk and honey is upstairs. This is a sacred secret simply because the secretion which comes from the sacral plexus is one of the most important things that we need to know for physiological regeneration. You see, by saving the seed, one can actually live longer. In fact, the ancients used to live for thousands of years by protecting and keeping this secret and guarding it. The Egyptians built ascension chambers, pyramids, for this very purpose. And they taught the science of respecting and keeping and guarding and looking after this beautiful oil. And if you know the Gospels well, you will know all the scriptures that are referring to it. I am the light of the world. He that follows me shall not walk in darkness. The light of the world is the optic thalamus. Keep your eye simple, for if your eye is dark, your whole body will be dark. That eye has always been known as the third eye. In fact, it's the spiritual eye. Now, as for the deniers, you see, most churchgoers will be denying this because in their mind, Jesus Christ is a historical person which must return physically in order to save them, because they cannot save themselves. They need a vicarious third-party saviour. Whereas the opposite is true. And this is what the so-called Apostle Paul was talking about when he referred to the sacred secret of the Christ within, the Christ that dwelleth within. For you see, the kingdom of God is within. It's not without. And in fact, the words of Jesus are pretty clear where it says, do not be looking out there, for the kingdom of God will not come with striking observableness. Don't look here and don't look there, because there will be deceivers saying, oh, there he is, here is the Christ, there is the Christ. Because the process is within. And unless one is able to raise that energy and get out of the bottom chakras. You see, the bottom chakras deal with sexuality, strife, envy, power, greed, wealth, and all of those things. And if one is constantly seeking those things and constantly eating of the fruit of the tree of life, you see those beautiful nerves, the pneumogastric nerve system, they are responsible for bringing the oil back up to the top of the chimney, because Santa Claus brings good presents, those beautiful spiritual presents. And we are the ones who are responsible for channeling that oil, that Christ seed within, so that it eventually is crucified in the middle of the head. You see, the cerebrum is hollowed out, and the midbrain and the limbic system at the top of the spinal cord is the Holy of Holies. And the cerebellum, which sits at the back of the brain, this is otherwise known as the small brain. The cerebrum is associated with the top of the head, Aries, and the cerebellum is associated with Taurus, and the left brain, the male left brain. The right brain is the feminine, and it is connected to the cerebrum, Aries, the God brain. You see, we have the God man is the cerebrum, the Adam man is the cerebellum. In the past, people have lived for thousands of years by preserving and conserving this oil and transmuting it so that it reaches the optic thalamus. You see, what happens when the oil reaches the optic thalamus is that new blood is generated in the body. Until such time as this process has occurred, we will have old, toxic blood in our physical organisms. And in order to regenerate and produce new blood, the oil must be raised to the optic thalamus, and healing can occur. Is generated in the body. Until such time as this process has occurred, we will have old, toxic blood in our physical organisms. And in order to regenerate and produce new blood, the oil must be raised to the optic thalamus, and healing can occur. The millions of dormant brain cells are reactivated because we all have these dormant brain cells in our brains. And this is why when you go down to the shopping mall and you see the way people behave, it appears that they are zombies, zombified, because they have not returned any of the oil. And in the Bible, this is known as tithing. You see, this is why the Bible says you must return 1/10 to the Lord. Remember, the Lord, the Lord, refers to the gold. This is how we turn lead into gold. Spinal cord is like a thermometer. And as the mercury rises with warmth, the more so with enlightenment and consciousness and knowledge, we are able to raise the condition of this oil. And as it climbs the spine and ascends, it raises its vibration. In fact, when it gets crucified at the top of the spine where the pneumogastric nerve is crossed, this does not mean death. This means, crucifixion means to multiply 1,000-fold. And you see, not only is physical regeneration a result of this, but also spiritual regeneration. And one is able to experience the higher mind and clairvoyance. You see, mediumship occurs down in the solar plexus. There are 4 brains in the human body. The cerebrum, what is otherwise known as the God brain, the cerebellum, which is the man brain, the medulla oblongata, which is responsible for the involuntary actions in the body, such as breathing and blood circulation. And the 4th brain is the solar plexus, which is more related to the animal instinctive brain, which receives images from the ether, from the air, just like the animals do, and they react correspondingly without reason and logic, instinctively. This is why it is so important to raise the oil, so that one can get out of the lower mind. The lower mind is the solar plexus, and wrought with problems. This is where the elites have known this secret. They have destroyed it because they have gone after the so-called heretics and renegades and unbelievers who have been teaching the true story of the Christ within and the ascension process within. Ascension is within. One ascends to heaven, the heaved up place, the dome of the cerebrum. You see, those 2 flaps, those hollowed out hemispheres of the cerebrum, are otherwise known as the cherubim. In the Bible, God says to Moses, you must build the Ark of the Covenant with 2 cherubim above the Ark, covering over. And inside the Ark shall be placed the manna and the law of God, the 2 tablets. Well, I'm here to tell you that the optic thalamus is the Ark of the Covenant. And the limbic system and the midbrain, the pons, the medulla oblongata, the pineal gland, these are the Holy of Holies. This is where one needs to return the good oil. In the middle of the head, there is something known as the hippocampus. The hippocampus is the little horse. This is the white horse that Jesus rides upon. There is something known as Ammon's horn. Ammon's, something known as Ammon's horn. Ammon's horn in the middle of the head. Would that be in Jesus' name, Ammon? It would. We have the claustrum. We have the cerebrum, the covering angels, the cherubim, which cover over, because the cerebrum covers over the cerebellum and the midbrain and the optic thalamus and the pineal gland and the pituitary gland, otherwise known as Joseph and Mary. You see, these two are the ones that are responsible for sending the oil down the spinal cord. And they are the ones that await the return of their son, who is born in Bethlehem, the solar plexus, once a month. You see, living riotously, overeating, consuming too much alcohol, these are poisons to the oil. These dry up the oil. And once the oil is dried up, the human organism dies. It cannot live without the oil that comes from the cerebrum. This beautiful fluid, the crystalline dew, which comes from the heaved up place, the heaven, and it comes down to the sacrum, the secretion, which is the secret, the sacred secret of the Christ within. The Holy Land is within, people. The Holy Land is the body. The Jordan River is the spinal cord. You see, Jesus gets baptized at the age of 30 and crucified at the age of 33. These correspond to the bones of the vertebrae. And as we progress with that oil by degree, we get our degrees. You see, we graduate with high honors and degrees. The degrees are referring to the spinal cord. And if we stay in the sacrum, sacred though it is, we do not ever climb Jacob's ladder to the place which Jacob called pineal. You see, in Genesis, Jacob laid his head upon a stone. That stone is the 5 fused bones of the sacrum, where the seed is born. And if we are able to wrestle with the angel, as Jacob did, and he got a name change to Israel, then we are able to see God face to face, because that's what Jacob did when he climbed the ladder. And he called the place Peniel. Interesting. Peniel sounds like pineal. Well, it is. In the Bible, in Colossians chapter 1, verse 26-27, it's one of the epistles of the Apostle Paul. And he said there in Colossians 1, 26-27, the sacred secret that was hidden from the past systems of things and from the past generations, but now it has been made manifest to his holy ones, to whom God has been pleased to make known what are the glorious riches of this sacred secret among the nations. It is Christ in union with you, the hope of his glory. So it's talking about a sacred secret or a mystery that has been withheld from the nations up until now. And that secret is the Christ within. You see, in that version of the Bible, it says Christ in union with you, whereas it should read Christ in you. The Bible's this wonderful book, and I've been endeavoring to share with humanity that it is a wonderful book, and it is a manual of astronomical as above so below phenomena. It's wonderful, wonderful, legendary, mythological, allegorical information. And in fact, the Apostle Paul in Galatians chapter 4 verse 25 says that the Bible stories are allegories for greater teachings. Now, the Christ within, what is the Christ within? Well, you see, the creation of the human body is one of the most wonderful creations in the universe. We have a wonderful brain, a heart, we have a generative system, a limbic system, nervous system, muscular, skeletal, tissue, lymphatic system. It's quite an amazing organism. It's just exquisite.
I turned around in some little town I'd never been to before, working my way through a middle of June midnight thunderstorm. There was something in the headlights that stopped me on a dime. Well, she was scared to death, so I said climb in, and then she climbed. Oh, yeah. Well, she was bruised and broke from head to toe, with a tear in her bloodstained shirt. She didn't tell the whole truth, but she didn't have to. I knew what had happened to her. I didn't load her down with questions. That girl had been through enough. I just threw it in drive, looked in those eyes, and asked her where he was.
I don't know if he's an angel, 'cause angels don't do what he did. He was hell-bent to find a man behind all the whiskey scars I hid. I never thought my day of justice would come from a judge under a seat, but I knew right then I'd never get hit again when he said to me,
wait in the truck, just wait in the truck. Well, I knocked and knocked and no one came, so I kicked in his double-wide door. I let the hammer drop before he got to that 12 he was reaching for. I didn't try to hide my pistol, I didn't even try to run. I just sat on the porch smoking one of his cigarettes and waited for the cops to come.
I don't know if he's an angel, 'cause angels don't do what he did. He was hell-bent to find a man behind all the whiskey scars I hid. I never thought my day of justice would come from a judge under a seat, but I knew right then I'd never get hit again when he said to me,
wait in the truck, just wait in the truck. Whoa, have mercy on me, Lord, have mercy on me. Have mercy on me, Lord. It's been 60 months, and she still comes to see me from time to time. It was worth the price to see a brighter side of the girl I picked up that night. And I might be here forever. It ain't paradise, that's true, but it's a whole hell of a lot better than the place I sent him to.
thank you.
Wait in the truck, just wait in the truck. Wait in the truck, just wait in the truck. Have mercy on me, Lord, have mercy on me. Have mercy on me, Lord. Wait in the truck, just wait in the truck. Wait in the truck, just wait in the truck.
fought in Iraq for 3 years. After an 11-day vicious showdown battled by Iraqi forces with the help of American troops, Talifar was declared liberated on Thursday.
Have a good day at school, okay? Mm-hmm. I love you, buddy. Bye.
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 You ready?
Got a corner lot on Dogwood Drive. A year-old truck and a 9-to-5. Comes home at night to a pretty wife with a baby due. He'll sleep in on Saturday, cut the grass if it don't rain. After church, he'll watch the game and have a beer or two. He'll stand up when he hears the anthem, and that won't ever change. He's still a soldier. His blood runs red, white, and blue. He put away his gun and boots, but he still believes the American dream. To his last breath, he'll always be a soldier. He's still a soldier. His couch for the news at 10. He'll see those places that he's been, and when a brother falls, there's a part of him that does too. And if they call and needed him back, all he'd be on that plane. He's still a soldier. His blood runs red, white, and blue. He put away his gun and but he still believes the American dream. To his last breath, he'll always be a soldier. He don't wake up anymore when he hears thunder. Soldier, he's put away his gun and boots, but he still believes the American dream. Till his last breath, he'll always be a soldier. He's still a soldier. He's still a soldier.
Come on, man. 50-50 split.
70% to me, 30 to you, if you can win.
If you mean win. You know I'm the fastest driver to come out of Volusia County.
Boy, you ought to be grateful I'm letting you anywhere near my car. You drive reckless. Like a prom date to a motel.
Well, he ain't the one with the broken arm, man.
Yeah, well, smart ass, the way I see it, you can make a little money this weekend, or you can sit over there with Jolly Pop and talk about high school football. What?
70-30.
Adios.
See you.
We'll see you tonight.
May we all get to grow up in a red, white, and blue little town. Get a one-star.
Hey, Ty, what's your starting position? Oh, man. You just worry about where I'm going to finish, all right?
With some part-time cash and driving a tractor, find a sweet little thing. Where's your ball cap backwards? Kind of place you can't wait to leave, and nobody does.
Let's go, boys.
'Cause you miss it too much. May we all know that nothing ain't cool till you hear the new off the sound of a quarter rolling down the jukebox. Play the Travis Tritt right above the jukebox. Or you get lost down some road. Slow rolling with the top off the back of a Bronco. Coming through, lady. The cash in lotto. Smiling with her hair blowing out the window. Where you about to go? Yeah, you learn to fly, and if you can't, then you just free fall.
Got that new track record.
I'll see y'all next week.
You want me to sign that cat?
Hey, we all get to see those fields of green turn gold. Watch a marching band play with the harvest moon coming up. And know that 15 minutes of fame must ain't gonna be what leads us and breaks us, but
I'm going to take a look for you. No. Not there outside on the fourth turn. You let me know choice, man. Robin Racing, boys.
She's smiling with her hair blowing out the window. Worry about your piece of head. If you can't, then you just free fall. May we all.
Where we sit? 15-5. You're gaining on it. Stick with it. Stay with your program. Don't let him sneak inside your three. He'll come outside on fourth for that. Hate to do this.
May we all do a little bit better than the first time. Learn a little something from the worst time. Get a little stronger from the hurt time.
Time to go. Go. Come on. Get him out. Get him out. Get him out. Come on. Get him out.
Hey, get him out of there. Get him out of there.
No. Come on. No. Come on. No.
May we all get to have a chance to ride the fast one. Walk away wiser when we crash one. Keep hoping that the best one is the last one. Yeah, you learn to fly, and if you can't, then you just free fall. May we all. 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 Just to have a chance to ride. May we all.
Did I win? Yeah, bud. We all did.
Yeah, you learn to fly, and if you can't, then you just free fall. May we all.
Regulators. We regulate any stealing of his property. We're damn good, too. But you can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean. Earn your keep.
Regulators! Mount up.
It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets trying to consume some skirts for the E, so I could get some phones. Rolling in my ride, chilling all alone.
Just hit the east side of the LBC on a mission trying to find Mr. Warren G. Seen a car full of girls, ain't no need to tweak. All of you search know what's up with 213.
So I hooked select on 21 and Lewis. Some brothers shooting dice, so I said, let's do this. I jumped out the ride and said, what's up? Some brothers pulled some, so I said, I'm stuck.
These girls peeping me, I'm gonna glide and swerve. These looking so hard, they straight hit the curve. Want to bigger, better things than some horny tricks. I see my homie and some suckers all in his mix.
I'm getting jacked, I'm breaking myself. I can't believe they taking Warren's wealth. They took my rings, they took my Rolex. I looked at the brother, said, damn, what's next?
They got my homie hemmed up and they all around. Can't none of them see him if they going straight pound for pound. They wanna come up real quick before they start to clown. I best pull out my and lay them busters down.
They got guns to my head, I think I'm going down. I can't believe it's happening in my own town. If I had wings, I would fly, let me contemplate. I glance in the cut and I see my homie Nate.
16 in the and 1 in the hole. Nate Dogg is about to make some bodies turn. Now they dropping and yelling, it's a tad bit late. Nate Dogg and Warren G had to regulate. I let my explode. Now I'm switching my mind back into freak mode. If you won't skirt, sit back and observe. I just left a gang of over there on the curb.
Now they got the freaks, and that's a known fact. Before I got jacked, I was on the same track. Back up, cause it's on Nate and me, the woman to the G.
Just like I thought, they were in the same spot, in need of some desperate help. But Nate Dogg and the G-Child were in need of something else. One of them dames was sexy as hell. I said, ooh, I like your size. She said my chords broke down and just sing real nice. Would you let me ride? I got a car full of girls and it's going real swell. The next stop is the East Side Motel.
To a whole new era. G-Funk, step to this, I dare ya. Funk on a whole new level.
The rhythm is the bass and the bass is the treble.
Chords, strings, we brings melody. G-Funk, where rhythm is life and life is rhythm.
If you know like I know, you don't wanna step to this. It's the G-Funk era, funked out with a gangster twist. If you smoke like I smoke, then you like every day. And if your ass is a buster, 213 will regulate.
Ooh, the wheel in the sky keeps on turning. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. Wheel in the sky keeps on turning. I've been trying to make it home, not to make it before too long. Ooh, I can't take this very much longer. No. I'm stranded in the sleet and rain. Don't think I'm ever gonna make it home again. The morning sun is rising, it's kissing the day. Oh, the wheel in the sky keeps on turning. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. Wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Whoa, my. For tomorrow. Wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Ooh, I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. Wheel in the sky keeps me yearning. Ooh, I don't know. Oh, the wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Ooh, I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. Wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Ooh, I don't know. Wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Don't know where I'll be tomorrow. Ooh, the wheel in the sky keeps turning. Wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
Lazy yellow moon coming up tonight, shining through the trees. Crickets are singing and lightning bugs are floating on the breeze. Baby, get ready. Across the field where the creek turns back by the old stone road, I'm gonna take you to a special place that nobody knows. Baby, get ready. Ooh, you and me going fishing in the dark, lying on our backs and counting the stars where the cool grass grows. Down by the river in the full moonlight, we'll be falling in love in the middle of the night, just moving slow. Staying the whole night through, it feels so good to be with you. Spring is almost over and the sun